Let's try that again. Welcome, EquinEdge fans, Scotty fans, Oldy fans, if there is a such thing, to the stretch run. It is Scotty and I today for the duration of the show. We also have a special guest coming on around 3 Eastern. We have Lexi will be joining us again. She gave out some great picks last time she was on the show. So looking forward to having her on with Scotty. Scotty, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you doing, Oldie?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. Just any day you get to handicap horses and watch races is a good day, right?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. We've got a pick 5 coming up at Gulfstream Park. Woodbine, they're at the gate over at Woodbine, but I think we should stay here and try to do this late pick 5 at Gulfstream Park. I see you've got a ticket here. You want to start off with race number 4?
Absolutely. So let's start off with race number 4. This was a race that I could have gone just too wide because remember our synthetic angle we talked about last week, Scotty?
Mm-hmm.
Now up to 72%
Wow.
that those two horses win. So Angle had a great week. But there is this 2-horse here has a pretty big pace advantage, is the long shot, and is I believe the top SOR as well. So those 3 horses for me were the play here. E top pick, second pick, top win. We're basically hitting every metric. Here we have the GSR, top GSR as well, the top SOR, the top pace, and the top long shot, all covered in 3 horses.
Yeah, the only thing I would add, is if you did want to cover maybe the 4-horse, because the 4 faced too tough competition last time out, and then the time before that was facing similar, but this horse hit the gate at the start. So if you throw those last couple of races out, this is a horse that actually fits into this context. Same distance, same surface, same similar competition,
Mm-hmm.
and this horse actually won at 14-1, 3 back. So I do think that the 4-horse fits. But to your point, you've run the numbers of 72% to win if the top 2 EquinEdge picks and the top 2 win percentages both match up, and that's exactly what we're seeing with the 5 and the 7. So most likely one of those 2 horses is going to win. But if you are going to spread, maybe you would add the 4 horse as well, Smoking Cloud.
Yeah, that makes sense to me as well. It is 10% on the win percentage line as well. I will note as well on the 2, there's also a little bit of an E morning line angle. You can see the E morning line's kind of nailed the betting right now in terms of that 2-horse. And so if we move on to leg 5, or I'm sorry, leg 2, race 5. Here I thought you could go one of 2 ways. You could go with the 4-horse here, or 4-6, or you could spread here. And I thought there were some interesting horses here further down the win percentage line. As an example, this 5-horse, who's a Fletcher first-time starter who draws Vasquez, is one of those. You also have the 7-horse who's 5%, but the Ralph Nix horse that draws Jaramillo also. And if you're going to use that many horses and the E long shot's top pace also, I think you have to use the E long shot, and that's another Fletcher horse. And it may be the type of horse that just needs to lead, because if you look at it, it just doesn't pass anybody. So, being top pace here, if it can get on the lead, it could go gate to wire.
So you're using who are we using in this? Right now you've got the
all
1
but the 2 here.
So you've got everybody but the 2. Okay, I agree. I threw the 2 out, and I agree with you. I don't think the 4-horse necessarily has to win Millennium Park, although they are adding blinkers. But when that happens, to me, it's more like a frustration move when you do that. This horse was 41% to win last time out, and still lost. And so it just looks like one of those horses that I'm not sure you can trust. It's only had 5 lifetime races, but still, I think we should be careful there. So, an all but 2 in that leg, and then in leg number 3, Oldie, who do we got?
So I am singled to the 3 in leg number 2.
Okay.
I'm sorry, leg number 3. Race 6, top E-pick, top win percentage, top SOR, top GSR, top pace. And I know from my numbers, those win it when you have all the metrics lined up on one horse like that, those win at about 48% of the time.
Yeah, this is a really wide open race where you could probably see a lot of people actually covering all here, and then understandable. But the problem is if and when the favorite wins, then you're left feeling pretty crappy that, oh man, so I think you have to take a stand somewhere. Yeah, Oldie, your sound is muffled. I don't know if it's your headset or what, but I'm kind of hearing that as well. I don't know why, because I know you always use that headset, but you're definitely muffled. You can make it out, but it's definitely muffled.
Let me take a look and see if it's something on my end here.
But let's see here. I'll so let's go to the next leg too. So while you're doing that,
I found what it is.
You did? You figured it out?
System decided instead of using my headset, it was going to use the internal microphone on my computer. Is this better now, guys?
Yeah, much better.
I don't know why the system decided to do that, but glad we were able to get that fixed really quickly.
So you've got 2, 3, 4, 7 in the 4th leg, and we don't have a lot of time before this race. Let's see here. We got we probably got 3 minutes to figure this out and get our plays in. I had the 2, 3, and 7 is what I had. I thought the 3 horse was a good play as well. It won easily last time out against a 50 group, but the way it did it, I think it could come back and run pretty good as well. So I did like the 3 horse sum. The 7 was my top play in the race, though. It was just super impressive. And from that post position and that speed, to be honest with you, Oldie, that 7 could be a single here.
Yeah. So, I looked at this and my top pick was the 2.
Okay.
Here you have an E morning line angle there. This horse hasn't been winning all that much, and is moving up or moving down from 60s to 56s. But from a top win, a lot of times I can find value when you have a top win percentage and a second pick.
So what I see, Oldie, is the 6 horse Elot is very fast and needs a lead. Is going to be pressing this 2, who's going to be on the inside, and the 2 horse, in my mind, clearly needs a lead for its best race, anyways. And being on the inside, it's not gonna really get much breathing room here. Whereas the 7 is just going to be breathing easy from that outside and can actually rate some, and moved up after breaking its maiden against a 40 group at 31%. Against a 56 group last time out on the dirt, this horse cruised and won by 5 1/4 lengths. And that was from the inside. And now it faces a similar group, but goes up 9 points in GSR, going to run better on the synthetic. There's some nice breeding on the synthetic. So, I really like this 7 horse. I don't, maybe use the 2 and the 7.
Or, if you're recommending a single there and that's your single, like you said, if you can single in races where others are spreading, there's potential value there. I thought that this race also had a potential that those 3 horses just go way too fast, and it pulls the 3 or the 4 into the race. And I actually kind of like the 4, based off the maiden breaking win at this distance on the surface. And likely, maybe won't improve enough at 56, but might draw the perfect setup here as well.
Right. Yeah, no, this is it's a very interesting race, but I'm kind of liking the 7 horse in the 7th race as a single for me. I'm putting a ticket together right now, and I'm actually gonna single that horse.
And for me, what I could do since I've already put this ticket in, I could also cover my leg 3 single by playing the pick 4 with your single too. And
Right.
that's a strategy I'll use sometimes uh, as a way of covering my single. And, in the last leg, they're going to the gate here. I am 8-4, and then the 6, who I thought was really sneaky here, um, just missed against similar at the surface and distance last time out. Let me get the race up and the sound here. Did you like anything else in this last leg?
I thought it was wide open. I did. I threw out the 2, 3, and 7.
They won
I
the
didn't,
second race.
but I didn't spend a
Right
lot of
analogy.
time handicapping it. But I did throw out the 2, 3, and 7.
First 2 in
for
line.
sure.
Now Churchill's victory.
Sound is
For
working.
high five
Correct?
pool swells past
working
$12,000. There's over $50,000 in the late pick 5 offering.
How about this 4-horse Smoking Cloud getting bet late? You see that?
I mean, I'm excited by that because that means money's going somewhere else than where I think it should be.
Right.
Smoking Cloud, then Grand Valley and the Red Man. The Red Man is just about ready. That leaves Eternal Flame to take the outside. Eternal Flame. And the 4th. They're Immigrate. And they're off. Good start for Grand Valley and Eternal Flame. From between them, the Red Man forwardly positioned. Here's speed from Smoking Cloud. Toretto is at the rail. Churchill's victory is away second last. The early trailer is Freelance. And the run to the half-mile point from the inside, Toretto to shove a neck in front. In the second spot is the Red Man, outsprinted third, Smoking Cloud, Churchill's victory. Driving through toward the rail into 4th. Out 3 wide, that's Eternal Flame. Then back to Grand Valley and Freelance. 22-4 for the opening quarter. Toretto, 3 furlongs from home and a length on top. Second is the Red Man. Eternal Flame is in the clear, but gaining good ground. 3 wide third. Backpedaling Churchill's victory, engaged by Grand Valley. That's all for Smoking Cloud, and Freelance is the trailer. They stack across the course with a quarter of a mile left to go. Toretto's been in front from the outset. Morales needs more from him to hold the lead. From the outside, the Red Man, Eternal Flame with every opportunity. Grand Valley with good-looking momentum down the center. Here comes Grand Valley charging hard for Miguel Vasquez. Grand Valley at the Red Man. Grand Valley to the top. Grand Valley going away. The Red Man was second, third, Eternal Flame. Toretto holds 4th, then Smoking Cloud. 105 flat.
And the synthetic angle hits again.
Yeah, and that's the one we would have wanted as well. The 5-horse.
Yeah.
But I mean, 28%, and 7 went off as the favorite, Eternal Flame, who disappointed, and the 5-horse, that's back-to-back wins for the 5, and beat 9 other horses last time out. That's one of my angles too, Oldie, is that I look at the post and field size on EquinEdge's past performances on HandyView to see. I want to see how many horses it beat. Sometimes you see, beat 4 horses or beat 3 horses. It doesn't mean that much to me.
Yeah, no, and be exactly like yesterday's match race.
Right, over at Saratoga.
At Saratoga. I mean, how much does that really mean? Where, it's not that this 7 was beating small fields here, and it was dropping, so you would expect, but maybe the 7's level is more like 48 or 46.
Right, exactly. You don't know when there's that small of a field.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
here, you beat 46s by almost 2 lengths, so that there should be some space to move up.
Right.
In theory too. Plus, honestly, that this was a near perfect pace setup here as well, with the 2, 4, and the 6 early on battling out for the lead.
So Saratoga, the 1 horse is about to win over at Saratoga. Wow, no, the 1 stopped, and all of a sudden 5's going to catch it. that? Looked like the one was gone. Rams
Yeah, it did.
5-1.
Wow.
Wow, just stopped. Top two EquinEdge picks. The one horse went off at 3-5. That 5 horse drifted up to 4-1. California Queen, and gets the win. Top two EquinEdge picks. You know, I don't know if you remember, Oldie. I think it was on our show too, but I said Saratoga. Whenever we have an opening meet and the opening day, and if we are hot on that opening day, I've noticed that we crush it the rest of the meet, and that's exactly what's happened in Saratoga. Maybe arguably the toughest track to play, and we have just destroyed it in a good way. We have killed it. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I mean, you guys absolutely, EquinEdge absolutely killed it yesterday at Saratoga. I mean,
Look at this.
just
This is in the first race. I mean, these are favorites. I mean, this horse was 37%. This horse Moore's Law in the first race, but it came in 4-1 cold. Those were the EquinEdge picks as well. In race number 2, 33% horse Timely Conquest, the top EquinEdge pick, pays 570 to win. That horse, goes off at 9-5. And the EquinEdge long shot, who was the top pace, got third. And I sent something out on Twitter as well yesterday on this, but it's just been on fire. And then the exacta box here, but we got a $10 horse that just won that race. So it's really been incredible, and it's really helped too, because we're getting a lot of new customers that are signing up every day, and when they're playing the big tracks, and so when those big tracks do well like this, it certainly helps.
yeah. And let me tell you, Scotty. So I mentioned this in the chat this morning. I looked at the Saratoga numbers, and
Yeah,
when the E top win percentage and E top pick and top GSR all match up at Saratoga on the dirt, they're winning at 67. That one horse is winning at 67% of the
that's
time.
incredible. That's incredible.
And look at this.
Yeah, yeah.
First
Look
two
at that.
races,
Look at
both
that.
these horses meet that
That's
criteria.
such a great stat. Thanks for sharing that. Wow, I will look for that as well. That's really incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. One horse. I mean, you could have singled these first two races, and I probably should have, and spread across everything else, and you would have been sitting in beautiful position.
Yeah. Well, look, we have another one. The 2 horse coming up now. It's the favorite. 4-5 on the EquinEdge morning line. 55%. Top pace number. Tied top GSR with the EquinEdge long shot, Bank on Anna. Wow, it's Anna's birthday today. So if that's not a hunch play, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if the 5 who beat the 2 last time out comes off as the favorite here too. So you might catch a break and get a little bit better of a price than you expect here too.
So let's look at that. So the 5 horse was 16% to win last time out, okay? And today is 31%. The 2 horse was 14% to win last time out, and today is 55%. So clearly the system is thinking that the 2 is going to be better than the 4. The 5 horse had a perfect trip last time out. I think the 5 is going to have an absolute perfect trip to beat the 2 this time out.
And I'm just going to take a guess that there was other speed that isn't present here in that race.
Yeah, because it's not here this time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I could see that opens at 6-5, 1-1. So maybe I'm going to be wrong, but actually this 4 is getting batted and it's at 5-2. So just maybe early money, and I'm probably reacting too soon to this. We also have Laurel coming up. I don't think we're going to have time to get a pick 5 in there, but
we won't have time for pick 5, but I kind of like a horse.
I wonder if it's the same horse I like there.
I like Judy's Army, the 2. And this horse is the favorite right now, and the 3 Irish Warlock is the fastest horse in the race, but it faced a 44 group last time out. Today's a 46 group, but Judy's Army, the 2, is dropping from a 52 group, and GSR is actually going up. The win percentage is obviously going up as well, and it's second off a layoff. And then not only that, Judy's Army was on the rail last time out. Judy's Army is going to have a clear second place in the beginning. The 3 will be on the lead, and I think the class of the 2 is gonna overpower. So I'm on Judy's Army. Who are you on?
So we don't like the same horse necessarily here. I thought the 6 and the 4 were really sneaky here, and possibly even the 5. But uh, you know, I was very concerned about these two horses just carrying each other out of this race, the
Yeah.
3 and the 2. I didn't particularly like either of them either. Uh, where the 6, I don't know if the 6 can rate because the 6 went from facing 50s to facing 70s. So
Right.
the 6 could be able to rate here. I'm not certain. Um, would maybe be a single. It's also the second pick. Eh, maybe a single for me if I knew that. And then I think if that horse can't, meaning that horse is going to be mixed into the pace duel as well. I thought the 4 has a chance. Who's your first pick? Has a chance to pick up the pieces.
I thought the 4 horse ran easily last time out and won, but it also faced a 38 group. Today's a 46 group. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to come, but I think it's going to be too late, and the 2 is going to get first run, and the 2 has class. So that's why I'm kind of banking on the 2.
I'm
They're
gonna
actually,
try. I'm gonna go with a 6, if I can get it in time. A 6 for exacta box.
okay. I did a 2. I did a 2 for exacta box, and I played the 2 to win. And the 2's also got the top GSR by far, by 9
Yes,
points in
definitely.
this race. And it's got the second top class next to the 6. But I think the 6 might be the type of horse that needs the lead. I don't know, because it went gate to wire in breaking its maiden, and then it faced 2 tougher horses. It is dropping big time in class here for sure. So I can't say that the 6 horse is not going to run good, but it only faced 4 other horses last time
Yeah.
out and lost by 15 lengths. So I tend to lean against horses like that, knowing that sometimes they are going to beat you. But I'm going to play against.
And of course, the 5 gets the lead. I'll get the sound on here.
Notion, and Irish Warlock is trailing the field. Irish Warlock last and 6 on the front. Glorious Mahomes and Ekin from Saloon in second, and Quinn Cannon trying to join on the far outside in third. Judy's Army racing fourth on the inside, and Bold Honor in fifth, and only 3 from the speed as they're on that far turn. Irish Warlock trying to move on from the back of the pack, and Disputed Notion trailing the field. Round that turn, Saloon now hooking up. Even terms of Glorious Mahomes. Quinn Cannon is next. Irish Warlock bids up on the extreme outside. Judy's Army races fifth in the blue silk set on the inside. They're followed by Bold Honor and Disputed Notion. They're at the top of the
Jockey on the
stretch.
2 is
Irish
just
Warlock
destroying.
surging up on the
He
outside
was
and claiming
committed
the
to doing
lead.
the rail,
Here's
and it was
Irish
a really
Warlock
bad
turning
decision.
in from the
Really
battling
bad.
Well,
Saloon.
and who thought the 3 would be able to rate
Glorious
like
Mahomes
that
has
too?
dropped
Yeah.
back. On the center of the track is
Really
Bold
bad.
Honor with a furlong
To
left
say
to
the
go.
2 was best
Irish
in this race is
Warlock
such an
and Saloon
understatement.
down to the inside. Quinn Cannon.
2 might still win
Judy's
this
Army's
race.
off the inside now
Scotty.
and coming with a late burst
Yeah,
of
he might, but
outside
he's
Quinn
not.
Cannon. Quinn
He's not
Cannon
going
just
to.
in
He
front.
really
Quinn
bad ride
Cannon.
by the
Quinn
jockey.
Cannon Saloon. Photo
Seven
I
finish.
think it was a
Quinn
7.
Cannon and
The
Saloon.
6 might have gotten the
Surging
nose
there with
down.
Judy's Army third.
Yeah, it's such a bad effort by that jockey. Wow.
Who's the jock on that? That is
Minute 12.
Concepcion, who's a good
34.
jockey.
He is, but he waited way too long. 100% waited to go down the
Yep.
rail when it was wide open. Absolutely cost himself the race. No doubt about it.
Absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
No argument there. We also, just in the interest of being quick and giving people a time to get their tickets in, we also have, let's see what it was.
So that was the
7.
EquinEdge long shot over the EquinEdge second pick. A lot of times too, you could take the top EquinEdge picks and
Quinn
just put an
Cannon,
exact
Sheldon
box,
Russell, triple.
Absolutely, but we have about 9 minutes to Woodbine race 4, and which is also the start of the Woodbine. I'm going to call it the late pick 4 because Woodbine ends their pick 4 in race 7 on days that they have 8 races, which always confuses me, but that's the way they do things.
Right.
So at
we're going to work
Woodbine,
on the pick 4.
yeah, if that's
Okay.
if you're good with that,
Yeah.
because that's coming up in now 9 minutes.
How big of a ticket do you usually do on a 20-cent denomination? Like
It's
48
usually like
bucks?
24 bucks, something
24
like that.
bucks. Okay.
I mean, that's probably too big, but that's just starting off with. I've done a little handicapping here um, already too, so I have a bunch of stuff done here. Let's see. The question is 3-6. How big of an only pace is this horse? For me, it would be something like this. That this 6 horse in race 7, I think has a legit shot to go gate to wire here. Does stop, but it has almost a 30-point pace advantage.
Right.
You know, I am a little concerned that against 60s at Gulfstream it stopped, against 52s it stopped, and that's why it's not a single for me.
Yeah.
I do like the 3 here as my top choice, and the system like the 5. So I'm not using the 5, but I think you at least have to take a look at the 5. I just don't think there's enough pace for the 5 here.
Right. I'm looking as you're talking. I'm looking.
I thought, leg 1 was pretty wide open.
You know who's interesting in leg 6, believe it or not, is the 4 horse. With that with that speed, but the problem with this horse is it's not the best breaker in the world, but they've seemingly found a really good spot because they're facing easier than what the horse has been facing.
Yep.
And Drexler's a very good trainer, claims this horse off of Mike Maker. Horse is going from a 60 GSR up 11 points to 71. It's going up in win percentage from 8% to 27%. And it's the top pace number. And I don't think the favorite, the 8 horse, has to win this race at all.
Except for
So
the 5,
yeah.
at least on my screen, the 5 is the top pace number.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's 1%. And it's got a 43 on the class.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to assume that there's a high likelihood that the 4 might get this lead.
So I could do something like that. I think it's, I was really 4-8 here.
Yeah.
The entire time, or 8-4, depending on how you want to look at
Makes
it.
sense.
I really didn't think.
Is it just it just looks like an 8-4 race. Is there anybody else in the race? I mean, I guess maybe you have to you could give a look to the 2 horse time skip.
But this horse just doesn't look like it ever gets there. And what is it about this field and a 0% trainer that this horse is going to get there this time? Even when
I
it
was
broke
really
better
surprised.
last time out, it still didn't get there.
I was surprised by the 3-1 odds maker morning line. It's 8-1 on the EquinEdge morning line. I do think that was not a great line at 3-1. I mean, 4 wins in 49 lifetime races, and this horse is 3-1. But that does not mean the horse can't win the race, right? So it's just something to consider. It's won most of its races on the synthetic.
Something else to consider here too is, it having a 3-1 morning line may just be an indication of the weakness of this group.
Right.
Because, the 9 beat 48s on synthetic. Does get a little bit of a GSR bump, so you can't ignore that.
So here's the thing. The 4 horse is just a bad breaker. That's the issue. But it's and it certainly figures in here. The GSR goes up a lot. And the 8 horse just seems to barely get up. So the 8's going to be a factor in here for sure. But that being said, this could be one of those races where you get a massive price.
Could be. Yeah. No, to me, that this is either those 2 horses or it's an all race.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Because if that horse doesn't win, if those 2 horses don't win, then everybody is in the picture at that point.
Right.
There's nobody who you say, well, if these 2 horses don't win, this would be the next most likely winner.
Right. So I
Yeah.
think in Woodbine, race number 5, I think we're pretty set. Just the 3 and the 7, correct?
Race
5.
5. I'm 3, 5, 6, 7 actually.
Okay, but now you're going away from your thing, aren't you?
I am here, and I probably shouldn't be, and it'll probably come back to bite
Well,
me here.
what
But
would be
I
the
did
what
not.
would be
I
the-
personally looked at this race, and these are all non-winners of one other than maiden races. And I thought, we talk about the last race being wide that we looked at being wide open. I thought this one, was a mess.
So here's the thing: if you look at the 7 horse, so basically there's two pace horses in this lackless pace scenario here,
Yeah.
and that's the 3 and the 7. Now the 7 horse in 10 tries going 8.5 furlongs on the synthetic. So I'm talking about Giant One right now. This horse has never won a race, whereas the 3 horse Spring Mountain, this horse has won 1, 2 seconds, and 2/3 against similar competition. Has a higher GSR, is 41% to win. Like, this is the type of horse that maybe goes gate to wire.
I mean, the only thing that I would warn you off against here is this horse is a terrible breaker.
Let's see here. Bump to the break. Gets a new jockey.
New trainer.
8-5 on the EquinEdge morning line. And here's the thing about the 7. 7 doesn't pass horses. So if the 7 doesn't get the lead, so are these 2 horses going to duel? And then we're looking at a bunch of prices. Like, there's a bunch of different ways you can go here.
That's why I like the 5. The 5 looks like maybe it can rate, and it's the long shot. And the 6, has rated before. It's a shot in the dark. I'll admit it. But, at 9% with a pretty decent jockey, the other horses here, I really didn't like at all.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm just doing 3, 6, 7 on my
Okay.
ticket. Yeah.
All right, so
The
I'm
6
3,
horse can rate.
7. So I went 3, 5, 6, 7. So we're covering basically the same horses. I just added the long shot here.
You know what I've been doing of late too, Oldie? Yesterday I played a little bit, and I did my coaching class. I think I made a few plays, and I lost every race. So it's terrible when you do a coaching class and that happens.
Yeah.
The very
to me
first
too.
race after the coaching class, I get everything back and more. And so, but what I started seeing was, if you look at like the top 4 or 5 win percentage horses, they win almost everything. Almost everything. And you can find some prices, like in Woodbine race number 4, the EquinEdge long shot. This horse is 15%. It's 9-2 on the EquinEdge morning line. It was 15-1 on the odds makers morning line, 9-2 on ours. EquinEdge long shot. It's got the 3rd top GSR. I mean, it just, if you start there and sort the win percentages and then start looking at the other metrics. But I think this 4 horse is a major player in here.
I think so too. I use the 4 horse. I'm pulling this up here because they're loading into the gate.
Supreme Action to follow.
But yeah, and
Kirk Johnson on Supreme
this
Action.
race I
after
thought
a
was
good price
just
here,
wide
14
open
to
in
1.
general.
Big odds on Upstart.
And you have your top win
Not
percentage
Upstart,
as your
gentlemen. Big odds on Supreme
as
Action
your
of
top
24
odds
to
here, but
1.
the 9 is
The
your top
favorite at
E
the moment
pick,
is in Upstart,
and it's at
gentlemen,
9-2.
as
I
Tom
hated
Black
the
goes
second
up.
pick
Last
here,
to join is Chelsea
1,
Dagger, who is now at 4-1.
which famous last words.
This field is all in.
I thought the 6 here was
Locked up.
super sneaky.
On their way, and a very good start out wide for Chelsea Dagger. Tomcat Black and Commander Tom coming through in the center. And as they settle into stride towards the back in the early stages, at long last, Redude Slider's got 5 behind, but also well behind his 5th season Supreme Action. Meantime, Silent Lucidity's gone up to share 4th with Awesome Crest. Commander Tom's gone to the front from Tomcat Black. But Black, Awesome Crest is pushing up in the center. On the inside is Silent Lucidity. A length in
four
behind them
sitting
is
great.
Chelsea Dagger from
I mean,
Supreme
and
Action. On the inside,
what I
fifth
love
season.
about
A
so
length
far,
away
anyways,
Upstart
what I love
Gentleman, and
about
yet to
this
tack
was
on
never
is
asked to
Redoubt's
do it.
Light. On the outside,
Nope.
Awesome
I mean-
Crest pushing the pace, but out in front, Commander Tom ahead in front. Awesome Crest in second, a length and a half away third, Tomcat Black. Silent Lucidity is fourth. Behind them, Chelsea Dagger revving the motor. Then Supreme Action. Next to last on the outside, Upstart Gentleman going past fifth season. A long last, Redoubt's Light. Awesome Crest has been up on the outside, just behind Commander Tom, who leads at the 5/16, a length to Tomcat Black, coming three wide. One away is on the inside, Silent Lucidity, followed by Chelsea Dagger, then Supreme Action building a run.
I have to hold
An
off the
Upstart
8.
Gentleman
That's
under
what
the
I
whip,
can see.
turning in front, and out in the lead, Commander Tom got away by a length to Tomcat Black. Awesome Crest on the inside, Silent Lucidity. Out in front remains Commander
Come on,
Tom.
8.
Switching now, Tomcat Black.
Go by.
Tomcat Black and Amanda Vandemish range up to go to the front. And Tomcat Black getting the
He's
upper
got an
hand from
8 to
Commander
1.
Tom.
Wow.
And now for the back, Redoubt's Light from absolute last.
Like I
away
said,
run,
this
but the
race was
winner's
wide
Tomcat
open,
Black.
Scotty.
Second
That is
place narrowly
incredible.
Commander Tom from Redoubt's Light, who switched course late. And then Silent Lucidity, 124.42.
8 to 1 from a 12 to 1 EquinEdge morning line. And this horse was dropping a little bit in class. GSR dropped, win percentage dropped, and it was going on synthetic.
The opening quarter was 23
Yeah, I
and 2,
mean-
a half 46 and 3, and 3/4
I should
1
shut
11.
that
Off of
sound
that
off.
horse had been
Time
what a
is
clean
124.
job, because that horse had been off since August of last year. That's a tough horse to find. It really is. You have to
It
really
was 9%. It was 9% though. So
Yeah.
the system saw something. Otherwise, a horse like that's going to be 1 or 2%.
Right. Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, when you have the top win percentage 23%, you have to know that the race is probably wide open, but it is tough to get to that horse. And we've got race number 5 coming up
Yep.
over at Gulfstream Park.
Yep, they're already loading. We were all but the 2 here.
I've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So that was everybody. Okay.
I thought this is an interesting race. You have the 6, your E, second pick and second win percentage is your top choice right now. The 4 might be worth a win bet here because as the top pick, and I didn't love the 4 either, but the E top picks win at a high percentage when they match that the
Top 2
top
win
win
percentage.
percentage. Yeah. So,
Right.
even though this is on dirt, it's not as high of a percentage, but at 5 to 1, that's a gift.
Well, I'll tell you a horse you better watch out for is the EquinEdge long shot, because at 4 to 1, this horse was on the rail last time out and dueled and only lost by a length and 3/4.
No, I like that horse too. I'm just saying from a value standpoint, you rarely get a 32% horse at 5 to 1.
Right.
And we're off, but I do not have the sound on.
The early trailer is Appear. The early leader is Uncaptured Dove, but only narrowly, with a host of pursuers. Out in the center, it's Divine. From between horses, Arzag alongside Millennium Park. Rastani has tons of room for Morelos down toward the rail. The quarter time was 22 and 4. Second last, Sweet Temptation. The trailers Appear. Half a mile away, Uncaptured Dove, but only narrowly. There's the move from Divine, and the race
Wow,
rate of
that first time
Divine
Scott
makes
was
her move
live.
to take the lead from the back. Sweet Temptation is on the move. Rastani let go to try to hold rail ground, dropping back to fourth.
Yeah, I think the
Uncaptured
6
Dove,
just
then
moved way too
Arzag and
early.
Millennium Park.
We're going to get a
Round
price
before
here.
turn. Divine made a move, but she's been swallowed up by Rastani, who's along the rail, who takes the lead. Sweet Temptation moving right with her. Divine is back to third while trying to muster another effort. Quarter of a mile left to go through a 45
I think
and
the
2 half
7
mile.
might have this.
On the outside, Sweet Temptation has a narrow
A
lead.
lot of bumping,
Trying to
though.
fight back
Not
is
giving up. It's a good-
Rastani, and she's
good
digging
duel.
in. There's an eighth of a mile to go. Rastani along the rail. Sweet
A lot
Temptation
of
on the
bumping.
outside.
I don't
Morelos
think the
hard at
seven's
work
getting
with
by this
Rastani,
one.
who's emboldened by the challenge of Sweet Temptation. 16th to go. Rastani fending off Sweet Temptation, and Rastani
13 to
gets
1
the
would have
job
been nice,
done
but I'll
in
take
hard
6
fought
to 1
fashion.
there.
Yeah.
Sweet Temptation was second. Divine ran third, well clear of Uncaptured Dove fourth in 124 and 4.
So big win there. We have at Saratoga as we keep bouncing from place to place, we have the middle pick 5, the mandatory payout middle pick 5 in 6 minutes. If we want to take a
Oh, at
look there, I
Saratoga,
thought
yeah,
this was a
let's
very
do that.
tough sequence.
Let's see here.
And I don't know why it didn't save what I had done. Oh, there we go. There's my, because I'm looking at the wrong screen. That was what I came up with. But I'm going to say I don't feel good about it.
It looks tough. Let's see here.
It really does. I think, though, this 5 is really in race 6 is very interesting.
So this is the race we were talking about here. I think it's going to be super difficult to catch the 2. So for me, I would single the 2 because I think the rest of the card is super tough.
So you would single here. I'm not against that either, because I did not feel good about race 7 at all. Like, I'm not even sure I feel good about this. I'd also think I would take the Cassie horse over the Englehart horse based on GSR, though this 3 does have a good gate work. Let's just see here. I don't see much on the Cassie horse, but I think Cassie and Santana, yeah, they're a 37% combo and not that small of a sample size.
I don't think you need to play too big of a ticket. I'm almost got this here. I'm looking right now at race number 7. What did you like in race number 7?
So that was the race that I'm really
Wide
struggling with.
open.
Yeah, so I either was going to single the 10 or I needed to go 4 deep here.
Well, I don't like that the 10 is 3-1 on the EquinEdge morning line. I'll say that. There's just something about that. The 4 horse at 7-2 is very interesting as well, going on the dirt for the first time. But and this is a state bred too. These state breds don't have to have that high of GSRs. What about the 8 horse Catalina Crush, the Mark Cassie Santana?
Yeah, I mean
This horse
that's the
looks
horse I have
sneaky
to
good.
add.
Yeah, this horse
I
looks sneaky good.
I like the 6, the Pletcher horse as well. And the 3 has some interesting bullet works. I don't like the GSR on it, but again, the interesting bullet works at least. Um, and for me, the question is, how deep do I go in leg in race 6?
Right.
And I really like I think the 5 horse is very sneaky here. I do think there's also a lot of speed, and that could set up for this 1 horse who just is a hard knocker. But this is by far the best group it's gonna face. And if it wasn't for the pace scenario, I probably wouldn't even consider that horse.
What about the last race? I mean, that thing that looks brutal.
So I didn't like the long shot here. This Appleby horse, the 6,
Right.
that's a horse I think is pretty sneaky. Um, I last time it got firm turf or more US dry style turf up at Woodbine going this distance, it won pretty easily in a grade 1.
Let's see here.
And it is Appleby, though he's not bringing in William Buick or anybody like that. So you might have to take that into account too. You also have General Jim, who's a really nice horse. And you have the brown horse, Carl Spackler, who I liked. And appraise the other brown horses. So you have 2 pretty decent brown horses here. For me, the other option, and would be to also single, if you wanted to go 2-5 here
Right.
and cover those top two horses, the two is currently at 1-2. You could go and single the 4 in the next race in leg 2, race 5 in a turf sprint with probably the most massive pace advantage you're going to see this year.
Which race?
Race 5. So
Oh, wow.
don't you almost have to single that horse, even though in most scenarios I would not even use that horse. It's just got such a massive pace advantage.
Let me
It
look and
would
see
have
what
to,
it was last time. Let me
it would
see.
pretty much have to be junk to lose.
That's a really good point. Okay, race number 5, Saratoga. Lady Milagro, 5.5 furlongs. And it had a pace advantage, but not by much. And it broke slow. It broke slow. And the horse that won, Playlist, has now rattled off 3 races in a row. So Bullet Cherries came in and ran good, who's in this race now, ran a nice race. And Breezy Easy had some issues as well in that race. So maybe Breezy Easy, Bullet Cherries, and Milagro. I don't like Glitter Up. But Glitter Up scratched. Okay. So I think Milagro is going to be very, very tough. We'll definitely have the lead.
Long shot should be on the lead. Has a win against 62s. This is not a 66 group anymore after all the scratches.
It's interesting. Breezy Easy had some issues, and Breezy Easy at 40%, maybe it's just those 2 horses. I think that's what I'm going to lean towards is those 2.
We're off already.
Are they off?
Yeah, and it's the 2 and the 5 in the same positions we'd expect them to be in. 2 looking strong right now. 6, the long shot sitting in third.
When you have that kind of pace advantage and you also have class, it makes it very, very difficult to beat you.
5's trying, but needs the 2 to stop. Five more is coming. I don't know if he'll get there in time. It's going to be close. Now 2's going to hold on.
2's got it. All right. Well,
Granny's
I singled
connection.
that horse. Yeah, I singled that horse. That was pretty easy.
And Breezy too.
Yeah, and Breezy. Yeah, I did though. That 5 never gave up though. Hard trying, and just lost it. And that's something you want to put a good note on too. That the 5 was. And look at this 5. I mean, 16 races, 17 races now, 5 wins, 6 seconds, and 4 thirds. I mean, that you want to talk about a nice horse. I mean, that's a very, very nice horse. And lost to another pretty nice horse, obviously, who now in 7 tries has 5 wins in 2 seconds. So lost to really tried, but lost to a nice pace horse.
30-point pace advantage. And since I can't go back and see that, that's what my note is going to say here. 30-point pace advantage. So the next time that horse comes up, I didn't hit save, but next time that horse comes up, you have that to compare it, because next time if there's
exactly
some other speed there, you'll know that this horse had a 30-point pace advantage last time out.
Yeah, and see, like this horse is a horse I'm going to add to my stable. because I want to know next time this horse runs, because to me it's more than just a second place finish. This horse was trying the entire time and lost to an honest horse. So what about Laurel, race number 6?
Yeah, let's get there. Hold on. We're just everything's up on top of each other right now.
It is always works out that way, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So
Yeah.
Laurel race number 6. They're the uh at the gate
There
right
is
now.
literally there is literally no speed in here. The one horse, Tina is the speed.
I
And
hated
yes,
this horse.
it's got a low
I
pace
hate it.
number. Yep, I agree. But these horses going 5.5 furlongs, they win a lot of times. Hope maybe one of the first time starters. You got EquinEdge long shot first time starter, who I found 3 of them yesterday. I played all 3 and none of them ran worth a lick. Never seen that before when I was doing the coaching class. But I'm not giving up on that. Obviously,
Yeah.
those things hit such a high percentage at the time that maybe the 9 is a horse you have to look at.
I thought the 5 and the 8 were really interesting. The 8 I like the price on the best here. The 3 also not really getting bet. I don't know. You should maybe pay attention to the fact that Rob Atras shipped this horse here instead of, even though it had been working at Belmont.
Right.
So he may think this is a soft spot.
So I'm on the EquinEdge long shot. Anytime I can get an EquinEdge long shot first time starter, I'm all about it.
I mean, for me, it's just the GSR is bad there. I kind of like the 8 the second time start. I mean, not that the GSR is that much better, but the 8 second time starter and the 3 your top or one of your top GSRs here.
Well,
I
I'll
do
tell you
think
another thing too. The 5 horse Peach Tea had 1 race under her belt. She barely lost. She had every reason to run poorly and didn't. And now coming here on turf. And so I would
4-point
absolutely,
improvement. Yeah.
yeah, I would absolutely think this horse is live.
Yeah, nothing special about the works on that horse. But again, I think the one's getting bet heavily because of the jockey trainer combination.
Yeah.
And, it is a 13-point GSR drop over last time out.
It is. I don't like that, but I've seen these horses come back. Also, by the way, it only faced 3 other horses last time out.
And
So,
finished second, lost by almost 8
but it was
lengths. But
63% to win. So I don't know.
yeah, I mean, this horse just may not be that good.
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, I'm on the 9. The 9's getting real action. 8-1 on the odds makers morning line. This horse is 4-1 right now.
Yep.
So clearly this horse has some sort of talent. And I like the gate drill. There's a couple of gate drills and I like to see those, but they must feel good with the horse out of the gate because those gate drills were 4 and 5 back. I like that.
Absolutely.
Right. All right. Let's see what happens here.
It's game time.
Game time. Maybe we can get the 1 to break a little bit slow.
I don't know why Scotty Art is asking if you were in witness protection. Oh, probably because you're backlit there.
Yeah, because the backdrop, I'm trying. There's no light. 9 broke huge. 8 broke well.
And 1 didn't get the lead. And if we thought the 1 needed the lead.
No, and the 1's checking back. So, who's the horse on the outside of the 9 right now? The 10 horse.
7. That's
is that the 7?
it's the 9. I can't tell who it's the 8, 9. 7 was running a little bit. Here comes the 5.
9's a little rank. Come on, 9, straighten out.
But that 7's an absolute bomb.
Come on, 9, come back. So 8's gonna most likely win this race.
Yeah, I think the 8's gone. But I will say this Rob Actress 3 might
Oh, this 3.
steal this race. That's the one I told you why
Yeah.
it's been working in Belmont and he shipped it here.
Yeah. Good call. What do you go off at?
9-2.
9-2. First time starter. Training at Belmont. Comes here to Laurel. Runs huge.
Yeah, nothing special about the works. Nothing that you would point to other than the good GSR and the fact that it's a trainer that could have been running the same distance race at Saratoga and chose to ship here.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Now we have a little bit of time.
You got Gulfstream Park coming up. What do you have in your pick 5?
I believe I am singled here to the 3, who is not the favorite.
Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in here.
So we also, Scotty, we were gonna have Lexi come on, and she is in the room here. Let me add her to the stream as our guest here. Hello, Lexi. Can you hear us? Okay.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can. Thank you.
What's up, Lex?
Hi, Scotty.
Good to see you. How are you?
Great.
Good. Good. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
What did you handicap? What are you prepared for? We're gonna put you on the spot.
I didn't tell Scotty what you were doing, so.
I looked at Saratoga.
Okay.
So she has a middle pick 4 for us, or thoughts on a middle pick 4, I should say, which starts in the next race.
Yeah.
And possibly a late pick 5, maybe, as well. But Lexi, let me know what kind of budget you want me to put in here, and let's talk. Well, what's been going on in Washington State out there? What have you been up to lately?
Nothing exciting.
No basketball or anything?
We're on a 2-week break.
Well,
What's the weather like back there right now, Lex?
Probably 89.
89.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's warm.
It is.
Yeah. But it's
Not hot like Hawaii, though.
No,
No.
that's for sure. Crazy. I have a timeshare back in Maui, and Lahaina it's just so sad to see what's going on there. Like that town, that's where everyone goes is Lahaina. So it's burnt down to the ground now. It's so sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, that's where my wife and we had our honeymoon in Maui as well, and we were talking about going back, and we're like, well, I guess we're gonna have to wait a few years until they're able to rebuild. It's really sad. It's pretty awful what's going on, and there's a number of flights coming into O'Hare every day, trying to get people off the island. I'm sure same thing with LAX and San Francisco.
Lexi, what tools do you use on EquinEdge? How do you use the tools? Maybe share with the audience like how you use them and how long you've been with us.
So I've been with EquinEdge for probably 3 years, probably. I use them all. I look at everything, but I do like the 4 a little bit in race 5 at Saratoga, just because the speed is so much higher.
Yeah, I ended up singling that horse in the mid pick 5 there as well.
Yeah, I don't know how that horse gets beat if it has anything what the pace figures indicate. With the SOR being comparable.
Yep.
I think that horse has a really big chance.
And looking at my screen right now, it's not getting bet either. It's sitting at 5-1. And those
Right.
E long shots that are close in SOR do pretty well
Right.
as well. So, I mean, it's only a 4-horse race. This is a 57-point pace advantage.
Yeah.
So either somebody's going to show speed we've never seen from them, or this horse is likely gone.
Yeah. When I start a race, I like to look at EE's morning line because that tells me if there's value in the race. And then I just go from there. Obviously, I look at the EE picks. I look at the win percentages. I think you noticed yesterday, but at Del Mar, the top win percent won the first 7 races.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there
it
was
was
some value there.
Let's see here. I'm looking it up right now. And race number 1, 53% horse won the race. Race number 2, 35% horse won the race. Now, these were favorites, though. Race number 3, 39% horse won the race. I didn't even know this. I'm seeing this for the first time. First time starter in race number 4, 26% won the race, paid $10.40.
Yep.
Wow. Top win percentage in race number 5, post facto, pays $10.80 and wins the race. So it's not all favorites.
No.
How about this? EquinEdge long shot and price play. There's a price play.
Yep.
Long shot and top win percentage wins race number 6, pays $14.20. Wow. Race number 7, top win percentage wins at 33%.
4-1.
I knew we were on fire, but I missed that. And then race number 8, a long shot that had an average win percentage. Well, to be fair, the top win percentage in there, the 8 horse actually didn't run, needed the lead, and it just stopped this horse, no excuses. But the 8 won, but still 7 out of 8 races, the top win percentage wins, and many of those not favorites. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, on the late half of the card, it paid pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a $4,300 pick 5, Scotty. 1 long shot, 1 off the board, and 3 top win percentages.
We got Gulfstream Park race number 6 coming up, Oldie. Can we go there and watch that? Who do you have in your pick 6? I have an all in here. Who do you have?
I'm single to the 3.
You're single. That's right. You're single to Sir Ollie, and you're hoping. You were saying this horse is 3-2 EquinEdge morning line, 31% top EquinEdge pick, and top GSR. And when in that scenario, these horses are winning like 2% of the time
on synthetic. So this is on dirt, if I remember correctly. Let me just look.
It is. Yeah.
So this is on dirt, so it's a little lower. The 3 or the 6 should win at like a 62%, but being that you have the GSR and it's also top SOR and top pace, those are winning at 48%. All tracks on dirt.
Now,
so
the 3 is the class of the race for sure. The 6 horse is running good too, but not as classy as the 3. For sure, the class of the race is the 3, no question.
Yeah, and for me, and this horse just may not be good enough. Definitely possible. And you also have the 4, who I think is class compromised here. Nice horse, been successful at the distance, but it's been against far easier.
Well, the other thing you have to also the 3 horse. I hopefully Zayas is sending this horse from the inside because that's what it's going to take.
So at the gate, it's now post time.
The sound here for us.
Gap moving in.
And
race number 6. The odds-on favorite.
We have Woodbine race 2, and then we can get Lexing's ticket.
Crichton 2-1 on Sir Ollie.
And rest of her thoughts on Saratoga.
9-2 on Morgan Point. Morgan Point going forward next under Leonel Reyes. Then Sir Ollie and Cross Haste.
Just need the data to hold up for one more time here.
Let's get it. Come on.
Rough entry to the
Come on.
outside.
I'm actually rooting for Sir Ollie as well.
4 to 5, rough entry.
I think we need this horse to send.
I think you're right.
We're at the post.
You know, let's see.
And they're off. Perfect
And Zaya's
start.
doing the same thing.
Lining up across the course for the early lead. Sir Ollie will eventually land a narrow advantage from Rough Entry, who's away in second. Cross Aces between horses, and at the rail, it's Morgan.
The one
Point.
didn't run
The
at
early
all.
trailer is Bird Wildcat. They sort themselves out a
See the
touch
other
now with
speed
the
in the
favorites.
race.
1, 2, 3. Second choice, Sir Ollie leads race favorite. Rough Entry, he leads by a length. Morgan Point is third while on a hold and looking to
Of
angle
course,
to the
I say
clear, it
that, and the
appears.
one is
Then Cross Haste and the trailer Bird
trying to
Wildcat.
rush up on the
Half a mile
outside.
from the finish, the opening quarter was 22-2 as they leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. It's Sir Ollie in front by a neck, but
I
Rough
think six
Entry
has got us.
is moving to him and moving only along, neck off the lead now second. From the back, Bird Wildcat is now third. Cross Aces between horses. Reyes hard at work with Morgan Point. He's down toward the rail, fifth and last, as the leader is Rough Entry. Bird Wildcat on the outside. Sir Ollie toward the rail. Cross Haste is next. Morgan Point tries to find his feet while only 2 lengths off the lead. Who do you like here? Plenty of hopes as they straighten for the drive. Sir Ollie and Morgan Point on the inside tries to angle. Down the center, Bird Wildcat. Rough Entry the leader. 1/8 of a mile to go. Rough Entry has the lead. From the inside, Sir Ollie battles back. Morgan Point is loose for a 16th run. Sir Ollie is up to the task.
How about that?
And Sir Ollie
Roll
will
that
win it.
horse home.
Sir Ollie beats Rough Entry
We
by a
lost
neck. Morgan
going.
Point maybe up
Lexi here.
well third. Bird Wildcat fourth.
But
and
I'm going to
Cross
give you
Haste
the boom
16
hands.
and 4.
Nice going. How about that?
Again, I said this to somebody in the chat after I singled the 4 in the opening race at Saratoga. The one I said was 67% on one horse. The data is the data. That's what we say in business. You know this, Scotty, in business. The data is the data.
That's right.
And,
There's an old saying that the numbers don't lie.
it's funny you say that. There was a Bears defensive coordinator named Greg Blanchet who used to say that the numbers are like your uncle. They lie all the time.
The numbers don't lie. They actually don't.
Yeah.
Now, in racing, though, obviously, you have to have racing luck, too. Zayas did a really wonderful job. The truth is, like we said, if he doesn't send this horse in the beginning, I don't believe this horse wins this race. Like, he did everything he was supposed to do to try to win this race.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
And we went right on top of Woodbine here. I didn't put the sound on yet. I added Lexi back in.
Sneaking
I
past
hope
Stronger
she can hear
Together,
us.
and then came Defogger back to second last. Robitaille is the early trailer. 5.5 covers the field in front narrowly is Spring Mountain from Nicky Newts, and a length and a half away lying in third.
Great
Jolene
name,
came
Nicky
off the
Newts.
inside. One back to fourth, Perfect Play. Mid-pack is Giant 1. Edging up is Defogger 3 wide, then Stronger Together coming through in the center, and 2.5 to Robitaille at the back. Remaining in front, Spring Mountain for Declan Carroll by about a half a length to Nicky Newts, a length and a half away third. Jolene Defogger's gone up on the outside in fourth. Then Perfect Play, Giant 1 called up. Next to last, Stronger Together, and Robitaille. A little between them, though, as they race to the 3/8 and out in front. Spring Mountain leads again a half a length to Nicky Newts. Jolene thirds. Perfect Play on the inside, back fourth. Then Defogger, Giant 1 still behind and not doing enough yet. Stronger Together,
Looks
second
like it's
last,
one of
long
these
last
two
at this
horses.
stage, Robitaille. Spring Mountain has had to really try and fend off a very tenacious Nicky Newts as they corner together. Third placing Jolene, and now
The
Spring
5
Mountain
horse is
is
the
away.
EquinEdge long
A length
shot.
to Nicky Newts sticking
I
on.
just don't know if he'll
Perfect
go
play
by
on the
anybody.
inside and out wide at Jolene
Rehab
and
horse,
Defogger. Out in
That
front,
horse is
Spring Mountain getting
41%
2.5
win.
for Declan Carroll. Now 3. And down the center of the track,
Amazing.
Jolene
Look at
coming
EquinEdge
again
take.
here, Nicky Newts. Spring Mountain
Might be
starting
stopping.
to really slouch.
Look
And
at
is
the
Come on,
drifting
E,
a
long
bit, but
shot.
it's going
Come
to
on.
hang on, I believe. Yes, just gave a
Wow.
little bit of a scare to supporters there.
Incredible.
In
Got the
second,
long
third is
shot
Perfect
there.
Play with Strong Together
Almost.
coming up the rails and Defogger. And the time 1:46.32. Spring Mountain getting home.
Spring Mountain.
Yeah, 3 gets the win at 3-2, and there's the 3 horse at Gulfstream Park. Goes off at 2-1. Oldie single, 3 over the favorite, even money at the 6 horse. Rough entry. So 3-6 order finish there. Oldie very good. The EquinEdge picks had cold 3-6, and let's go to Saratoga because we've got. Well, let's see. We have let's go to Saratoga so we can we can work with Lexi on this thing. That she likes Lady Milagro. I know you like this horse. Big face number, Lexi. This horse has had some leads before and stopped against similar 2 back, 6 furlongs. This horse stopped. Now, being 5.5 furlongs, this might give this horse on the cutback a big advantage, though. And I can't imagine. This horse just really. I have not seen too many pace advantages like this before, honestly.
I don't think I have either. I didn't single this horse like Oldie did, but I definitely thought it was a must use. I actually I played a mid pick 5, and I have all in this race, but I do like the 4. And if I had to pick, my top 2 picks in this race would be the 3 and the 4.
I'm looking at Lady Milagro's race 2 back going 6 furlongs on the turf, and it ran. There was a horse called Top Gun Girl who won that race, and Top Gun Girl had a 99 pace in that race. Lady Milagro had a 99 pace, and they went at it early, but Top Gun Girl came back in an 80 allowance optional claiming to get a 2nd place finish against tougher actually. So, I mean, that race came back to prove good. So, Breezy Easy was in that race as well and only lost by a length and picked up the pieces. This is your favorite right now in this race, and that's the 6. Now, that being said, though, is Lady Milagro, though, now has a massive – the more I'm looking at this, honestly, like you're getting 5-1 now, 4-1 on Lady Milagro. I honestly don't know how you catch this horse. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, the only way is if somebody has some speed we haven't seen. If you go through these, I mean, really, maybe, and granted that's a 7 furlong race, but maybe if this 3 breaks like it did last time,
no, it's got
press.
a 21 pace. No,
but
it can win. It's not pressing anything. It's got a 21 pace. It's not going to be anywhere near Lady Milagro. The 3 will be in last. And I mean, you're talking about a horse that's 42% top EquinEdge pick, but it will be in last. Now, it beat what appears to be a tougher group, but that was going 7 furlongs.
Right.
Now we're cutting back to 5.5, and the GSR dropped 6 points. It's going to have to come from behind, like they're all going to have to come from behind. I mean, this is Lady Milagro's race to lose. I mean, it's not like she has no class, guys. She's got good class.
Yeah.
So, Lexi, what's your budget for your pick 4?
$50. So I actually looked at this race last night and I liked the 4, but I didn't like the 4 as much. All the speed scratched out of this race, and it left this 4 with the lone speed. So I did like the 4 a little bit last night, but after all the rest of the speed scratched out, I think I like the 4 better now.
All right, so leg 1, you're just 3-4, is that right?
Yeah.
And okay, let's talk about leg 2 a little bit. What do you like here?
So in the second leg, I like the 6 and the 7, just like the system likes.
Okay. I will tell you, I really like, and I mentioned this already, I really like this 5 horse. Was grade 1 placed, has a victory over 78 SOR at this distance. Also has a 4-star work that I noticed. I think this horse could be really dangerous. I'm just mentioning that. I'm not trying to sway you here.
I always value your opinions, Oldie, for sure. I could see like in the I could see the 5 like in the 5 as well. I just didn't want to spend that much money. I generally don't like to play when there's as much hurdles, controversy at tracks, or they come off the turf like they have. When the fields get small, I generally just bow out. I don't usually play. But I was hoping to get through this leg with the 6 and 7. I think race 7 is a little bit more wide open.
Agreed. And what do you like here?
So I had the 4, 6, 8, and 10.
4, 6, 8 and 10. Okay.
And then
And
the
then-
last leg I thought was difficult as well. So I'm spread quite a bit in the last leg.
What do we have in the, what do you have in the last leg?
I think I had, let me look at my ticket. I think I had, well, I think the 2 was my top pick. I liked the 1, 2, 5, 6, 8.
1, 2, 5, 6, 8. So no 3. 1, 2, 5, 6, 8. Looks like that's what it is. So that's what I have for $40 right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Lexi's pick 4 ticket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that this definitely have an opportunity if you can beat this 10 to get a price in race 7. And, you know, I mentioned in race 8, Scotty, that I really think this Appleby horse who's sitting at 10 to 1 is really sneaky.
Right.
Here, having already won a grade 1 and beaten the one of the 2, I think it's that one, beaten head to head this the top pick who is also the Chad Brown horse,
Right.
or one of the 2 Chad Brown horses here, by a significant margin. Just went back to Europe and hasn't been running well.
Usually the EquinEdge picks will catch a horse like this. But this horse won a grade 1 over at Woodbine this summer by 5 3/4 lengths. First time in North America. So, I mean, that was, and I think that might be the only time. So that was pretty impressive. And this horse has earned $308,000. So, you know, and there's nobody. And by the way, the 5 horse Appraise, who's the top EquinEdge pick, got second in that race.
Yep.
Right. So, for whatever reason, and by the way, behind enemy lines, the EquinEdge long shot for Jack Sisterson is who's picking things up a little bit, 14%. This horse barely lost in the Penn Mile, but I think that, and it's 18%. So when you look at a race like that, and this is absolutely a grab bag. It really, really is.
Mm-hmm. I personally did not like the long shot here. I thought there were better options. Keep in mind, you have a grade 2 winner also moving to turf, and the GSR does go down, but it's still 77, which is outstanding on the 8 General Gym.
Right.
So that this horse could be really dangerous here too. Looks like it might need some pace to run into. You know, does have 2 wins at 8.5 last year as a 2-year-old on the turf. So we know this horse will take to the turf as well. So just another one to throw out there. And like you said, this race is pretty wide open.
So I'm really surprised, guys, at the 4 horse Lady Milagro. I think that unless you have the EquinEdge pace number, I think you know that the 4 will have the lead most likely. But the horse broke terrible in its start. It lunged in its last start. So maybe people don't realize how much faster this horse is than the rest of the group. And because if you look at horses just on paper, then you don't really get the sense that maybe the 4 is as fast as she is in this particular field. I think that's what's going on here, because 9-2 in my mind is an absolute gift on this horse.
I agree. It's just a matter of, you know, I think Jared thinks there's more speed on the 2 than we think there is. He thinks the 2 is tactical. And we can take a look at the 2 here. It's a 32 pace number. You know, even when it's broke relatively well, though, you know, it's 2.5, 3.5 lengths by the first point of call.
Right.
And that was in a dirt sprint. You know,
you got to understand that the 2 will only be as close as the 4 wants them to be. So, so what happens with the 4 is the slower the 4 goes up front, even though you might see the 2 close to the 4 early, that means that there's that much more that the 4 will have in the tank, is what that
Can
means.
I add one other point here that we haven't mentioned that probably should be mentioned here is they're also getting the weight break for putting the bug aboard on the 4.
Let's see here. So, I mean, they're getting a little bit of a break, 119 pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where the 2 is carrying 126 at top weight of this
right.
group, and
I don't even
possibly
like
top.
I don't even like the 2 in this race, really, personally. But
No, I agree. I mean, I'm probably putting in the winner's circle,
yeah,
as I tend to do. Lexi knows that. All right, I hate this favorite in the chat, and then that horse will win.
Well, and I don't think that many people in the WhatsApp group like Jeannie Torres very much.
Yeah, there are a couple people who are very
Anti.
into criticizing jockeys.
Mm-hmm. But he does get some wins.
Yep. And broke exactly like we thought.
There goes the 4.
See, now you have a big enough lead that you should start rationing.
he is. I think he's doing a nice job. You don't want to give a horse behind you too much confidence. You want the jockey to
Right.
be chasing.
You don't want it to have too much energy either.
That's right. Right. That's true. But he's really conserved this horse.
Hasn't really asked. Let's see if he kicks away or not. The answer is no,
Oh,
unfortunately.
wow.
But yeah, the 3 is going to win.
Oh my God.
Easy winner for the 3.
Wow.
I don't know why my screen's doing that. Well, Lexi's ticket moves on.
Yeah, I covered an all in the pick 5. So, and that was the top EquinEdge pick, Gallon a Rush. I mean, that horse,
Yep.
you know, that's a disappointing effort in my mind by the 4 horse.
Yeah. I mean, I think he went too fast once he got that lead. It was like 21 and 2.
Yeah, I don't think
Probably
it was going to matter. This horse was that 3 was just so much the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 3 was so good. Really amazing. If you look at that, yeah, that horse had the 10-hole 2 back 6 furlongs and still lost by a length. Then comes back last time out against a 68 SOR group and ran huge. So that was big.
This also is a case where the morning line, the 3-1 versus the 4-5 on the EE morning line, could tell you that there's potential value there, and it ended up that way because that horse didn't even go off as the favorite.
No. So look,
That
guys, at
3 horse.
Gulfstream Park, my single, the 7 horse is even money right now. Look at that.
Yep. Your single is definitely getting bet. Let's see if for once we can get your single plus my single here.
It would be nice. Yeah. Yep. You
And-
got that single last time out. I did a daily double as well, straight from 3-7.
Oh, nice.
So
And I'm assuming you didn't play that at $1, Scotty.
no, I let's see what I did. I played it. I played a $2 pick 5.
Okay.
I played a $2, and I've got everybody breathing in the next race. So hopefully we can get this 7 horse home. The 7 horse was 7-2 on the odds makers morning line, 2-1 on the EquinEdge morning line. But like I was saying, one of the things I look for in singles, even in a race that looks wide open like this one does, guys, is when you look at a horse that doesn't have any speed to its outside and has class in the other areas, this horse does, then like the 6 horse has some speed, but it's also moving way up in class. So now here's the thing. The 6 is going to send, most likely. It was claimed for 12,500. And obviously, Reynaldo Yanez really likes his claim because he puts this horse up from 12,500 maiden to 25,000 open company, fillies and mares. Now, the problem with that is, first of all, you only win 5% of the time when you're facing winners. And it did win easy, but clearly this is the type of horse that needs the lead. So it could, it is only a 40 SOR though, but it'll be an interesting. The duel is going to be with those two horses from the beginning. Look at how dead the 2 is, Oldie, the horse you like. I mean, 32% to win. EquinEdge second pick, 5-2 EquinEdge morning line, but it's 7-1 right now. I mean, that horse is dead.
I'll take 7-1, but let's look at. I'm going to just take a quick glance at the probables or the will pays to see if it's dead because the money's going to come in late or if it's dead because it's dead. So the
will pays are fine. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
they're fine. There's nothing wrong with
2,
those
3,
will pays.
4. So it's second in the doubles and third in the pick 3. So the pick 3, the 6 is actually the second choice.
This 7 is just getting absolutely hammered right now. Like 1-2 right now on this horse. Honestly, I didn't expect that. If you were looking at this horse's style, if you look at the past performances, Oldie, of this horse, would you, if you can click on the 7 horse, would you look at the style of the horse? You got the outside, the 6 is fast, has one way of going. Would you sit off of this horse, or would you take your class and shove this horse to the lead and try to go gate to wire, going all out? What would you do? Because it depends. You have to make that call right away, I think. I don't think you can really afford to think. I think you have to know going in what you're going to do.
I mean, you are top pace here. The question is, am I up against the kind of horses that will quit if I do that, or can somebody press me? So if I'm up against the type of horses that I know will just stop, if they don't get the lead, it'll demoralize them, then that's the right move to make.
Yeah. Well, then you would be sending then, because the 6 horse seems like it needs the lead. But the form of this, look at this 7 also has won pretty much going gate to wire. I think what we're going to see is the 7 with Camacho from the very beginning all out. That's what I think we're going to see. And he will overwhelm the 6 horse early on because of that class. That's what I think is going to happen.
Well, and I do think that. I do think you can see within the 2 can press a little bit and won't give up. The 2 is also a poor breaker, so you have to keep that in mind. And the 3 was, this could set up beautifully. The 3 is tactical as well, and maybe this just sets up for the 3 at 8-1 right now.
I agree with you, by the way. I think this sets up beautifully for the 3, and that 3 won pretty nicely against a decent field last time out. So there's no reason why that 3 can't come and run a good race. And Zayas win back-to-back races. I'm not going to be surprised.
Lexi, any thoughts on this?
No, but I just love listening to you guys talk.
Okay.
I think I'm going to build a 3-7 exacta.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same, Lex. Yeah.
And, I mentioned if there's a real pace meltdown, I like the 4 as well, but it's gonna take a real pace meltdown for that horse. You also have your 2% E long shot with your 33% trainer. That kind of seems like it needs the lead, but isn't that fast at the start. Gets out, breaks fast, but doesn't get to that first point of call as fast as it should, and is losing 12 points in GSR.
The 6 horse and the 4 horse here at Gulfstream Park come out of races on the same exact day. Both 12-5 maiden claimers. The 4 horse 42 SOR group and the 6 horse 40 SOR group, but they both smoke. But what I do like, because of the 2 probably needing the lead in this race and the 7 needing the lead and the 6, then you would look at a horse like the 4 horse. I mean, if the 2, 6, and 7 duel, if that happens, then look no further than the 4 and the 3 picking up the pieces for the exacta.
Yeah, and I think if you do get a speed of speed situation, I think that's the 7.
Well, the seven's either going to clear or most likely going to be screwed. It looks to me like this 7 really needs a lead. Now, what's interesting, I will tell you, something happened here last time out on the dirt. I mean, this horse jumped up to a 56 group after breaking its maiden and won by 5 1/4 lengths against a 56 SOR group. Something clicked with this horse.
Or
So,
there was no other speed and it just had an easy time of it.
yeah, I'm going to look at that.
And I'm going to get the race up here so that we're ready to go.
So it was pretty interesting at Saratoga. The 3 horse opened up as the favorite at 5-2, 15-1 on the morning line.
That is strange to say the least.
Yeah, it took a lot of money early.
So the field that Cajun Fantasy faced last time out was really not all that great. Really not all that great at all. And it looks like there was a lot of horses that needed the lead there, and Cajun Fantasy ended up getting the lead. There's an old saying that speed kills speed. So what I think happened, and there was some really good speed in that race, and this horse showed exceptional speed, and so the rest of the horses came from behind, is what it looks like. But there was some really good speed in that race as well. So I think, depending on how fast the 2 is and depending on how fast the 6 is, 7 does need to get the lead. But this horse did run a good race last time out.
Yeah. And could come back and repeat that for sure.
Looks very good on the track, honestly. Like, nice appearance there. Looks happy. That makes a difference. Ears are pricked. Looks fine. Looks playful there. Biting on the other horse. But what's not a bad play? If the speed stops, if the 2 stops, the 6 stops, let's just say you take one speed horse like the 7, and then why not do how about a 3, 4, 7 exacta box? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
That would still pay. No matter what, you're going to get your money back. You're going to get more than $6 back on that dollar exacta box. So maybe something like that. You're getting 5-1 on the 3 horse, 6-1 on the 4 horse.
I think ideally for you here, the other way this could go would be that the 2 breaks to the lead, killing the 6, and then the 7 doesn't have can press the 2 without having to worry about the 6.
I don't know if the 7 can rate. That's the problem. That's why I'm saying the jockey has a decision to make. Now, luckily, he has to make the decision on the outside. But we've seen this before, Oldie. When a jockey has the outside post, he gets tricky sometimes, thinking he can rate a horse, but the horse just can't rate. That would worry me a little bit with this 7 horse. I hope that's not the case. I'm actually hoping that he sends.
I mean, I like Camacho Jr., but he's not the guy I want teaching a horse to rate.
Right, exactly. So just send, get a good break from the outside, and let's call it a day.
All right, let's get Frank Maramati here.
Frank Maramati?
Did I say that right? I think I messed that up.
Tony Aiello.
And
Tony Aiello.
They're off.
Okay.
Cajun Fantasy gets the first call, beaten to the lead
not
by
get
No
the
Action,
lead.
who's on to take over. No Action to the top. Moving to
So he
second
is
is
being
Elot,
tricky.
far outside Cajun Fantasy third.
And the horse
From
rate.
between horses, Light and Pat
Well,
is in
we're
the
about
blue
to find
colors and
out.
angles for Racing Room. Down at the rail, it's Antrim. She's actually last of all at the moment, and just ahead of her, Greek Mojo. 3 in line, now 2 in line as
Two's
they
done
take it to
already.
the far turn. Elot for a narrow lead. Cajun Fantasy alongside in second. No Action had the lead early, but she's outsprinted at this stage. She's racing in third while trying to rebid. Up to fourth goes Foggy Note ahead of Light and Path, and Greek Mojo, and Antrim is last. 22 seconds for a contested opening quarter. There's a quarter of a mile left to go. No action. Back for more. 3 wide as Cajun Fantasy's the target. At the rail at C-Lot, down the center and in no action. Widest of all, Foggy Note. Light and Path looking for room toward the rail. Late run down the center from
Who's
Greek
coming
Mojo.
back?
No action
Seven's
as
Coast.
powered past Cajun Fantasy, who's on the ropes. Foggy Note takes a shot at no action, and here she comes. 16th
call,
to go.
Oldie.
Foggy Note a length
Good
and a half
call.
off no action, and no action. Will win it. Foggy Note second, Greek
2,
Mojo
4,
third,
5.
Cajun Fantasy fourth.
So
with
your
a
answer
little
is the
5-1.
7 100% needed the lead.
Yeah. Well, and look what he did. He's on the outside and he gets tricky and he tries to rate. That's exactly what you see sometimes with these jockeys who get an outside post.
Yep.
Yep.
So we have the pay leg coming up next race at Gulfstream. We also have the what I'll call the 4-8 race at Woodbine, where we only like the 4 and the 8 here. Coming up in, they just moved the minutes to post on me, 3 minutes to post. Scotty, I'm gonna leave this up here, and
Okay.
I need to take a quick pit stop, and I will
Okay.
be right back with you
You
guys.
got it. You got it. So Lexi, are you which tracks do you like to play? What are your favorite tracks?
Well, I'm like in Del Mar right now.
Okay. Okay. And do you have a favorite wager that you like to play?
No, I'm playing more simple, playing more win bets, more exactas. I play usually shared pick 5s, pick 4s.
Okay.
Doing more daily doubles, and just doing them for, I mean, a little higher denominations, like
Right.
a $5 daily double.
Are you in the EquinEdge VIP
Yes.
on the Facebook group? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm in the WhatsApp. I've known Chris and Oldy for, well, pretty much since I joined EquinEdge.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, it's been way back.
And how long have you been playing horse racing?
I found EquinEdge right after I started playing horse racing.
Really? Okay. Oh, well, you then you got in at the right time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever
Scotty,
tried to
let me tell you a story about Lexi too.
Okay.
So 2 summers ago, we did a Del Mar Saratoga only $2 win place, mythical win place, like Caesar meet long tournament. It was Lexi, Justin, myself, Chris, Brad, who won the BCBC. You had Kenny, Nate, a bunch of people that you know.
Right.
And Lexi killed us all. And, it wasn't just straight off dollars. We actually assigned points based on each week.
Right.
So that, you weren't cooked after 1 week or cooked after 2 weeks because somebody hit a long shot. And Lexi won on dollars and points.
On dollars and points?
Yeah.
Look at you, Lexi. Lexi, do you
And-
play tournaments at all? Do you go to play on horsetourneys.com or horseplayers.com?
I can't. I live in Washington State.
Oh,
and
that's right.
Yeah. So I would love to. I don't have the opportunity right at the current moment. But if they have like $0 tournaments, I play because I can register for those. It's just if even if they're $20, I can't play them.
Yeah,
Right.
like the horse players happy hour would be perfect for you. It's if you can't play.
Yeah, and I can't do it. So
They've got they do have an NHC qualifier today. And I was thinking about playing in that, but I've qualified twice already for the NHC. So the thing about it, they don't really give you an incentive to play anymore, just for the points as far as the NTRA tour. So they don't really give you incentive. I'm like, so I don't know why I would play. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. I want to, but Let's look real quickly, guys, at the
The center of the track, away well mobilizer, showing up is Sea
Oh,
Scout,
yeah,
and on
they
their
just took off,
inside is
right?
Gulfstream,
All right.
and going
I
forward
liked
is
the 4-horse in
Wenjack, and
here,
as they sort themselves out,
and
Handy
I thought the
Master
2-horse
Spy.
should be in the
One who
money.
got checked badly was Time Skip behind Lions Golden Heart, making ground is Maximus Momentous on the outside, and early on at the back is Dr.
I
Uptown.
don't like how fast the
Racing
4
with the early
actually
lead on the
broke
inside
normally,
is
but
Mobilizer about a half
I
mile
don't like
length
how
to
far
Wenjack,
back
a
the
length
4
away in third placing.
dropped.
Up on the outside, Master Spy Shade Sea Scout, 2.5 away came Gulfstream, and back on the rails is Lions Golden
I was
Heart.
only like 4
Further
lengths back,
afield is
Goldie, really not
Maximus
that far
Momentous,
back.
a length and a half to Time
Yeah, I
Skip,
was
and
looking
3 away
at this
last is Dr. Uptown. Racing with the lead remains Mobilizer. Shuffles
at the
clear by
little
almost a
track
length
thing
and
there,
3/4 to Wenjack.
and it
In
looked
third
like it
placing
was
on the
further than
outside,
it was.
Master Spy, followed by Sea Scout
Eight's loaded.
Gulfstream.
He's
Now
moving
taking off
nice.
in the back, Time Skip, but is forced 3 and 4 wide. Up in the center as they come to the lane is Maximus Momentous. Showing up in front is Mobilizer on the inside of
It's
Wenjack.
really making a
Coming
nice
after them is
move right
Master
now.
Spy and trying to run home at Gulfstream, and Time Skips right down the extreme outside and is bounding home. Gulfstream has ranged up on
And
the
2-horse
outside.
on the outside's
And very
running
wide
pretty
on the
darn
track,
good.
goes up to tackle
I
Master
knew there was just
Spy.
something about
Up
this
the
too I
inside
really
is
like.
still Sea Scout, and down the extreme
6
outside is
snuck
Time Skip trying to run home 4 across the
along
track.
the rail.
And
Though,
it's
too.
Master
4-2.
Spy, Gulfstream. Gulfstream's gone clear. Gulfstream out wide on the track, goes on to win.
Good call,
Gulfstream is
Scotty.
first, Master
Thank
Spy
you.
second, Sea Scout
4-8-6
third.
too.
Time Skip was a good fourth at time 1:22.7.
It ended up going, come on, 6-5, huh? Wow. I
Yeah.
don't know where that came from. What the heck?
What was that horse? That horse was. As I pop around here, that horse was 4-1 on the morning line.
4-1.
Yep.
So at Saratoga, there's 12 minutes before race number 6. And, you know, we've had a big favorite that went off at 2-5 in Granny's Connection, the 2-horse in the race number 4, winning the Union Avenue handicap. And then the 3-horse, who was 3-1, well, that was before the scratches, but 4-5 on the EquinEdge morning line, ended up going off at 2-1, was 40% top EquinEdge pick, pays $6. So pretty chalky so far. In here, I'm using the 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Did you, Lexi? What did you have in this race number 6 at Saratoga?
I just used the 6 and the 7.
6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you use the top EquinEdge picks.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you?
And it's worth. Go ahead, Lexi.
No, go ahead, Oldie.
I was going to say it's worth noting that the 7 is 5 of 6 at the distance as well.
Yeah, the 7 would probably be my top pick. But I did notice that the 3 opened up at 5-2 when the tote first opened. Now the 3 is down to 6-1 live odds.
Yeah.
From 15-1.
From 15-1, 12-1 EquinEdge morning line. The 6-horse Marshalls is the EquinEdge second pick, 36%, and has the top GSR of 80 by far. And this horse is second off of a long layoff, has every right. You know, there's an old saying as well that one race is worth 10 workouts. So you have to imagine that this 4-year-old colt by Curlin is going to improve second time out. So facing 3 and up, optional claiming 80. That was a tougher group last time out, going from an 87 GSR down to an 80, still good, 21% to 36%, and a 76 SOR down to this 72 group, so easier. And been in the first or second, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 6 lifetime tries. So this is a very honest horse. Rosario not riding very good. I mean, Rosario's down to 16% win percentage, guys. I mean, here's a guy that was up to like 23, 24%. I mean, he in the last year, it's just been a slide.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him. He used to be pretty reliable, but
I wonder if it's age related or if there was an injury there.
he rides pretty good on Christopher Clement's horses. I mean, I've seen him win on quite a few of those, but other than that, it's pretty sparse.
Well, he's 16% for the last 365 days. and with so he's riding for Asmussen. He's 17%, so really not that great. The 7-horse Mike Maker and Lascano, they're solid at 37%.
Mm-hmm.
But the 6 really does look good. But let's see here. I mean, will Rosario? I don't know. Rosario's riding so bad. He just is. But this horse is 36%. There's a lot. There is a lot going for this horse. I respect this horse. This horse really tries. Had to have needed that last race, and I'm looking at that past race on EquinEdge Prime, which we haven't launched yet. You guys will hopefully have that before the end of the year. Let's see here, race number 6, and I'll tell you what it says. So this horse, Marcellus. Oh, wow, perfect trip. All right.
Is that officially what it's going to be called?
EquinEdge Prime. Yep, we're gonna.
Okay.
It's kind of like the formulator product. Basically, as you know, Oldie, you can go back and you can look at the past race. So when I look at that last race for Marcellus, it lost to a horse called Bango, who had a top pace number by far, was 9-5 EquinEdge morning line, and the horse in 32 tries has 12 wins, 4 seconds, 2/3, and $1.14 million. So a very honest horse who was very tough to catch on the lead. Marcellus barely lost by a half a length to that horse who had an easy lead. So that's that bodes well for this horse. And that was a really tough field. The horse that got third, miles ahead, has earned $732,000. So that was a 76 group. This group is nothing near that. So I would imagine the 6 horse is going to be very, very tough in this race.
And again, I'm going to tell you my top pick is the 5 here. Provocateur for Bill Mott, first time coming out of the Pletcher barn. Didn't run last time out or in the grade 2, but has been grade 2 and grade 1 placed. Has beaten some really good groups at 78 SOR. Can rate a little bit. I think is working huge with Art Collector and on even terms with Art Collector in terms of the works. So, I think this horse at 10-1 presents some value as a price.
Right.
This race looks wide open if you look at the live odds. I mean, they're from 2-1. The highest odds is 7-1. The money's pretty spread out.
Yeah, it is. And even this one, if the pace breaks down, I think this one has a chance as well. It's a hard knocking horse. Really hasn't faced a group this good yet. So we don't know what it's going to do here. Did only win by half a length last time out against 60s. So in theory, it should not be good enough. But, it may just be sitting on a perfect setup here.
So Eric was saying at Colonial, there was a horse that was 30-1 on the odds makers morning line. The 3 in race number 5, Oldie. Let's take a look at that. What's the story there? It was 4-1. Wow.
And it went off at 4-1, Scotty.
And it went off at 4-1. That's so insane to me. And it was, look at that too. It was a price play also, which is one of the long shot algorithms, and EquinEdge's second pick. That's so sick. See, that right there in itself is exactly what embodies EquinEdge right there. Like the people that don't know EquinEdge like we do. Although, who was it? I had somebody reach out to me saying, saying that she was 70 years old. She said, I've been doing horse racing for 40 years. She goes, I don't even know what I would do without EquinEdge now. Like those are the things that are so awesome. And I've often said, I would hate to be a morning line odds maker, right? Because like that has got to be one of the hardest jobs and thankless jobs. And so I'm not even giving the odds maker, when I say this, giving him a hard time. Every single morning line should be created by an algorithm for every track.
Well, look at this horse for a second, though. It was facing, it faced 72s last time out. You know, 62s before that, 68s, and was dropping. Granted, it did face 58s here, but you see here, it was close until the finish against this group. So one would have to expect that this horse would be live here as well.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And that this favorite looks fine. Won last time out here, but was going against it. From a class standpoint, the 3 just dwarfs this horse in terms of class.
Right. I played a little bit. I didn't love it, but just wanted action. But I'm watching the Monmouth Park race. I thought the EquinEdge long shot Extreme Access might run a better race today off the layoff for Robert Falcone Jr., who's just a fantastic trainer. We got we have 3 minutes to Saratoga, right? So
Yep.
Yeah.
They're
us
nearing the gates.
You know how us action players are, Oldie.
So what are you doing here then, Scotty?
Okay, so let me tell you what I did. I did a 3, 8, 9 with 4 exacta box.
3,
3, 8, 9.
At
3,
what
8,
track?
9. Not a box. Excuse me. I apologize. I did a 3, 8, 9 with 4 exacta, not box. Excuse me.
At Saratoga?
At Monmouth.
Monmouth. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Monmouth is not showing on my.
But I liked
on
the
my
9. But I
up and
really
coming
liked
race.
the EquinEdge long shot a lot. And the 9 right now is making a nice move, middle move on the backside over at Monmouth Park. The 4 horse is having an atrocious trip on the rail, which I'm not hating right now, as long as he gets through late.
Yep.
Because
The 9 looks really. I mean, it was a fast opening quarter, but really got to relax. Went about 26.
Now the 4 finally got out, and he needs to make a move right now. But the EquinEdge long shot I really liked. Okay, here comes the 4. So I need this 4 to get second now, and he's got a shot. Come on, 4, get up. He's got to catch
on
some
the
horses
EquinEdge long
Really?
shot, though.
That 6 is coming.
Yeah, no, 4 didn't run. I got the EquinEdge long shot. I did cover myself with a win bet on the 9. So, and that force went up at 8-1.
Yep.
Yeah, it would have been nice though if that 4 would have got up there for second.
Let's see. Do we have anything else coming up before Saratoga that we can sneak over to? No.
No, I mean Saratoga, right? They do a nice job of being on time. I'm using the 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, but honestly, I wish I was actually single to the 6 right now. It's 5-2.
Yeah. And like I said, the 5 is my top pick. And I think this pace could melt down, and the 1A has a shot as well.
But remember, we're talking about the 7 horse or the outside post. You have a sprint race where the 7 is the fastest horse in the race, but doesn't need the lead. Actually, you know what? The more I look at this 7, going to be super, super tough too as well. Guys, I'll be right back.
Lexi's top pick.
Yeah, he's going to get a really nice trip.
I just think the 5 may be classier than this whole group. And might take it on class.
I could see that. I kind of wish I had the 5 in there. I also didn't want to make my ticket too big. So you just have to take some chances.
Absolutely. As Justin would say, play with no fear.
Yeah. I'm not as good at playing with no fear as Justin is.
I don't think any of us are.
Yeah, you know, I think this is a 7, 6, 6, 7, but that 7 sure going to get a nice trip with that speed for sure. What's that exacta? The exacta 7, 6.
You want a probable on that? Hold on.
Yeah, let's see. The probable 7, 6 is $10. There is nothing wrong with that at all.
No, 10-1 is not bad at all.
No. Who's the EquinEdge long shot?
It's the 3 nighttime for Dale Romans.
No, that's a trainer I'm not a fan of.
I'm with you on that, Lexi. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also not a fan. I know some people who own horses in Indiana Grand and have had, when he's shipped in, have not been treated well by him. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, that he just was.
Yeah. You kill yourself when people talk like that. There's an old saying that one person tells 20 people, then those 20 people tell another 20 people. Like, the word can spread very quickly.
Did you have my 5 getting to the lead?
All I know, I did a 7-6 and I threw a trifecta 7-6-5 for third, or the 5 for third.
And now the 4 is in first.
7? Did the 7 break slow?
No, the 5 broke like a bullet and then gave up the lead for some reason.
You might not catch this 6. The 7 didn't break good. I thought the 7 would get a better trip than that. How about this 5 horse?
Nope.
Yeah. That
So you
first
should've-
race that the 6 had really helped.
And like I said, the 1 coming late just didn't
Yeah,
quite get the pace set up.
6-1. Yeah, I mean, second off the layoff, 36%, wins that race.
For you
Nice.
Rey Mysterio fans out there, that was a 615, not a 619. So,
6-1.
and
Yeah.
we also have Gulfstream, the last race there coming up. We are
Who do you
live
have?
in the
Who do you have?
the 468 is what I thought I keyed, but I keyed 467.
Okay.
So we need to beat this 8. And honestly, the way the 8 was paying, we needed to beat the 8 anyways.
Let's see here. So the 8's got that outside post, tactical. The 1 horse will probably be on the lead, but the 1 does not have any class. That's the EquinEdge long shot. The 8 had the inside, did burn some money last time out. The 8 has burned a lot of money. I'll say that.
And this is on the dirt. And on the dirt at Gulfstream, the 8 post is usually further out than you want to be.
It is. No, you're absolutely right. From the 7 post and above, it wins at a very low percentage in one-turn races. It does.
And my other opinion here was that this 8 might need the lead too. Just looking at its run lines, and that's a much
sure burned a lot of money. It does not finish very well at all, does it?
Nope. And it does. And if it doesn't get the lead, it doesn't pass anybody.
No. And the issue with the 4 that I see is this horse does not like to break very good.
Yeah, I need a better break. Granted, it ran worse when it did break better, but it was going long, too long for this horse.
So, Oldy, are you alive on a pick 5?
Yes, to the 4, 6, and unfortunately, accidentally, the 7.
Hey, if that
Instead of the
7
8.
comes, if that 7 comes in, you're going to party tonight, though.
Yes, that's true. It is top pace. It is gaining back 12 points in GSR, but still not good. 0% jockey, 4% trainer. Translation, I don't like it. I do think the 6 has a decent shot here. Just missed against similar on 714. Let's see if any of those other horses were in that race. It does not look like it. And I'm doing this the hard way. Oh, the 3 was in that race. And that appears to be it. And the 4, the 4 is dropping from facing 50 SOR here, even though the level's not that much different. It was facing a 25 maiden claiming group that was where you typically see the SOR of a maiden special 8. And sometimes, Scotty, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you see horses that we call bad breakers, but they're bad breakers because they're facing better horses too, and
That's
horses
exactly
that are
right.
just too good for them.
That's exactly right. When they drop in class, it's like they know it. They drop in class, there's a good chance that they'll break much better. That's very true. It did though, but it had the rail 2 back, and it waited. So if you look at that race, if that's any indication, I would imagine the 4 is a major player in here because it broke bad against 2 other horses in its first 2 starts. Then yes, it dropped lower in this 3rd start, but that was on the synthetic, and the GSR dropped to a 42. Then it's from the rail and breaks 7th in the 2 races back and loses by a length. Then it moves up to a 50 group last time out and breaks bad again and loses by 9 lengths, getting 4th place. This is realistic. This horse absolutely fits in this race. If it breaks good, it'll win this race, especially because the 8 has burned so much money. The 8 does not want to win. The 8 doesn't have it's not the fastest horse in the race. The 1 is. I think the 4 is a major player, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if the 4 was in 2nd place early on. The horse you're gonna have to watch out for, believe it or not, is going to be the 6. I think the 6 Lavu is going to close. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to win, but it should be in the money. I'm doing a 4-6 exacta box.
And Scotty, with that, the other horse we have is that 4. I mean the 6. I mean.
Yeah. I would put in my wagers the 6 horse to be 1st, 2nd, or 3rd.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
What's interesting is in the 6 and the 7, 6, 7, and 1 are the uncovered spots in the Rainbow 6.
Right.
And so the 2, 3, I'm telling you this for a reason. The 2, 3, and 5 are jackpots.
Okay.
And that's because a 31-1 horse won the first leg of the Rainbow 6.
Right.
I could see that.
I see the 5 being able to get 3rd. There's just something about this 8 horse, right?
And if I don't win, I usually root for somebody to hit the jackpot. That's a good
And
consolation.
tomorrow here in South Florida,
happen.
Saturday racing begins at 12:50 with racing forums
Just
and
in
programs
general for the gambling
on sale
public.
now. Bettors have this as a 2-horse contest between 4
I
Novelli
never
and
root
8
for that
Forever
unless it's me,
Uncaptured.
Oldie.
Laveau is 4-1, so they are the key contenders here.
Lexi's honest.
In the line next is Sophia Loren. Novelli, red colors of Troy Lang. Red colors worn by jockey Edgar Perez on Laveau. J.J. Monet and Forever Uncaptured. J.J. Monet under Anthony Thomas, Forever Uncaptured
I
to
just
the
want to see the
outside.
4 horse get a good break.
Ready for action.
Me too.
The 4 horse gets a good break. It did break good.
Runners away. J.J. Monet wins the break and goes looking for the early advantage from race favorite of Forever Uncaptured away in 2nd. Novelli splits horses and takes 3rd. At the rail, Martha May
I want to
Houvier
see
is away in
the
4th,
7
followed by
pin that 8
Laveau.
wide.
2 back to 4, the Thrill, then Sophia Loren. The one with no early speed is Quick Style. Past the half-mile point, and J.J. Monet at a big number has the lead by a length. Martha May Houvier is now on the inside to take 2nd. Forever Uncaptured 3rd. Novelli close enough to land a blow. She's racing in 4th, about 2 lengths off the embattled horses up front. Working 5
To say
ahead
the
of
4 is
Laveau.
running
Needs
best
to get a
is
move
such an
on.
understatement.
Then for the Thrill and
It's not
Sophia
even
Loren.
funny.
Quick Style is last.
Needs to
And
go
Martha
to the
May
outside of the
Houvier
8.
now first. To the top of the stretch, Martha May Huvier
No,
has the
don't
lead,
wait.
forever
There you
uncaptured,
go.
giving up ground while 3 wide
Waited
second.
way too
JJ
long.
Monet has
He
called
did
it
wait
an
a little bit too
afternoon,
long.
back to third ahead of a fourth running Novelli. Then Laveau running home from the back for the thrill. Top of the lane, eighth of a mile to go.
Get away
On the
from my
outside,
horse,
forever
Seven.
uncaptured toward the rail, Martha May. Huvier digging in gamely here. Martha May Huvier still in front, forever uncaptured, just kind of hanging around while trying to surge past. 16th to
doesn't
go.
wanna
Martha
win.
May Huvier
Will
digs
not.
in. Martha May Huvier is in
Elon
front.
shot.
Forever uncaptured with no excuse. She ended up second. Novelli third and 112 flat.
Well, we were right about the 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Top 4 win percentages, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you had this last. If you look back at the one horse, here, let me switch this back. This is what we missed. The one horse, last time it was running the surface and distance. I mean, granted, it was against a 34.
Right. I mean, that was a much easier group though, but it was 11 other horses.
Yep.
You know, but this was just such a bad group.
Yep.
That's all it was.
And the 8 still, the 8 just will not pass a horse in those situations. It's,
No.
you know, you go through this, it's this race, it's that race, it's all over this horse's results,
Yeah.
even with the drop in price and SOR.
Let's how about we go to Woodbine?
Yes, we are still alive in the pick 4, I believe, at Woodbine. Sec to get us there. Let's get this up. And where's my stream here?
Three minutes.
So we are alive to the Woodbine. We are alive to the 3, 5, and 6. At Woodbine, they're not going to pay. It's a 20-cent pick 4. 3 pays $50, 5 pays 92, and the 6 pays $33.11 on our $24 ticket. So nothing to write home about.
All favorites. Big pace number here at Woodbine with the 6th horse, JP Hellish. But this horse stops as well, but yeah, it's a hard one to read.
Yeah. I mean, that I read it as the 6 is going to stop. Here, I mean, did beat
But
60s.
that is such a big pace advantage, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we saw that earlier today too.
Yeah.
And is picking Drexler up as a trainer too. You know, was only with D'Angelo for one race, and was a reclaim by D'Angelo. Before that, popular horse in the claiming box at Gulfstream.
I don't like that it had an easy lead 2 back at Gulfstream at all at 31% to win. And it had an easy lead and lost by 14.5 lengths. I mean, it's just something is amiss with this horse. But I'm just wondering, Drexler gets his horse back. Why is this horse in for 25? Why isn't he in for 10?
Well, that's the thing. D'Angelo claimed this horse for 20K. It looks like Drexler did. I don't see a claim on this. I just see that it moved to Drexler.
I'm doing
So
a 3-2 in the box, guys.
3-2.
I am, yeah. I'm gonna try to beat the 6. I think that the 3-horse Kitty Holiday will
Sorry.
Probably be very tough to beat. This horse is going to be probably sitting in third, probably 3-4 lengths back. But and then the two horses faced better horses, but he broke 11th last time out. It's just not kind of a slow breaker, and then finishes up. But I think the two horse could finish up late. I think none of these horses, the 6 wants to stop. I don't think the 8 is all that great. It's going on synthetic. The GSR drops. The other horses just don't look that great to me. So I think this could be a 2-3-3-2.
I think the 5 could be running late also.
Let's see here. Yeah, I've been facing better horses. Yeah, this 5 could run.
Argentium follows.
Absolutely, you're right.
Full
It's very
Extreme,
tough,
gate
though,
high.
Oldie, to come from so far back
Yep.
on this track.
JP Hellish.
But this horse is a major player for sure.
If you're playing a
Reliability.
try, you almost have to use the 5 in third place.
And to the outside, Kazushi Kimura on Salvatore Mundi. This field is all in and locked up.
Imagine we'll see the 6 2 or 3 lengths in front.
On their way, a great start. Away well was out wide JP Hellish. Salvatore Mundi began smartly on the inside.
Look at
HC
the
Holiday is up
six's
running
head.
at third spot.
Not
Between runners
exactly a horse
goes
that
Kitty
runs
Holiday
very
on the
relaxed.
outside, Full Extreme, followed by Reliability. And as they take the turn out the stretch back, second last on the inside is Embrace My Uncle, and Argentium is last. Racing out to a handy lead in the early part is JP Hellish, and has gone out to lead by 3.5 lengths to Salvatore Mundi with the ears pricked in second, now within 2 lengths. And another 2.5 away third is HC Holiday. Off the inside, Kitty Holiday in fourth. A length behind them is the grey Reliability. Full Extreme is back third last. Next to last is Embrace My Uncle, pushing up on the inside. And last of all at this stage, Argentium is 7 off the leader. JP Hellish in front by 2 lengths, Salvatore Mundi. And now 2.5 again. Back in third is HC Holiday. Coming forward, Reliability. Up the inside, Embrace My Uncle. Between runners, it's Kitty Holiday dropping back a shade,
Three's
looking
running
for
very
room.
good.
Full
Three's
Extreme. At
actually
last is
losing
Argentium.
ground, which
With
is
the
not a
lead,
good
JP
sign.
Hellish has not been troubled yet. Leads 2.5 to Salvatore Mundi, and coming up is HC Holiday, followed by Reliability. Embrace My Uncle. Full Extreme trying to thread a path through the pack. Kitty Holiday the outside.
So the
last
one
is
horse- the one
Argentium.
front runner we
JP
don't
Hellish
play
has
is
gone
gonna go
further
Gates
ahead,
Wire.
raced out by 5. And as they come down
Well,
towards the
I had
final
the
quarter in
6.
second, Salvatore Mundi tapped up. Where are the closers? Full Extreme trying to get
But I'm
through the
not
pack,
sure
but
that it's
well
not gonna
ahead.
stop yet.
JP Hellish, hell and high water for the others. JP Hellish by 5 or 6 lengths. Down the
Granted,
center of the
it's not
track,
gonna
HC
matter at this
Holiday
point.
battling away
No.
Salvatore Mundi, and up the inside, Embrace My Uncle and Full Extreme.
Wow.
But it's a one-act affair, and JP Hellish, it's like floating on air, this horse. It's JP Hellish to score by 10 lengths. HC Holiday second, Embrace My Uncle third, Full Extreme was fourth, the time
Big
1:43.39.
race horse. 3 disappointed, did not run whatsoever.
But whatever Drexler did, since it came from D'Angelo, seemed to have worked.
Yeah, it sure did.
Should we take a look at the last at Laurel? Do we want to take a look at race 8 at Ellis? Or we want to
let's
talk about
see here.
Delmar a little bit?
I'm looking real quickly.
There is an interesting horse at Ellis.
The opening quarter, 24
The
and
price is
1,
not
half a
interesting.
mile, 48 and 2.
Let's go to Laurel, since we can watch the race together.
All right, so let's look at Laurel. 5 minutes to Laurel, race 9. Your top 2 pace horses on the turf are also your top 2 win percentages here, and your top pace is also your second pick. And nearly beat 46s. This is a group of 48s. Let's see here. So interestingly, your current favorite is this 2 horse. So is dropping, had been running longer and facing much better, and has been dropping down the ladder lately. I mean, I see why they might make it the favorite, but I really don't think it wants turf, especially doesn't want this distance.
Let me tell you why you should at least look at the 8 horse, and I'll show you why. They tried blinkers last time out. Blinkers are back off because that wasn't the issue. The issue is the horse was facing 2 good horses, and
Yep.
so if you look at the last race, horse was 72-1. So I don't know what you would be expecting. Faced a 58 SOR group. The race before that was 1% to win, and faced a 54 group. And the horse was only 5 lengths back in the stretch. A lot of times when horses are facing, you want to see what their level is. Just look where they are in the stretch. And then you look at the race before that against a 54 group and 8.5 furlongs, and the horse was only a half a length back. So, and that was with a good break. And the race before that, a 50 group, 22%, and the horse barely lost. So the 8 has by far the highest GSR, and that matters on the turf going long. In a race where the top win percentage is only 23% in Carmel Sunrise, the 3, who barely won and had to hold on against a 42 group, breaking its
And
maiden.
has a horse that's faster than it
Right.
here, and it doesn't show the ability to really rate.
That's right. Now you have this 4 horse here, who Lady Mosler, the second EquinEdge pick, but the horse is completely dead on the board. I don't know why.
Well, it almost won at this level 2 back, then moved up to 40K, and now is back at a more reasonable level.
Yeah. The problem is that it did a good job 2 back going 8 furlongs. This is 8.5 furlongs.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see a lot of speed in the race, and I would throw out the 3 and the 4, and then just assume that the race is going to stop, and then horses are going to start coming from behind. And who would that be? Well, the 8 horse would be one of them. There's nothing wrong with the 2 horse, and that's probably why the 2 horse is getting some action, you guys, because I mean, this horse is going to do better with more distance for sure, and it had issues last time out. And the time before that, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened the time before that. It wasn't a good effort.
I mean, I don't love this 2 horse. You know, I think maybe the 6 horse has a shot. I'm trying to see there was something else I saw here, but you know, this really looks like a group that doesn't want, with the exception of the 8, doesn't really want turf.
What about the 5 horse? First time on the turf, first time stretching out. The GSR doesn't go down that much in a group that isn't that great. Nothing wrong with that horse at all.
Can that horse rate though?
That's a good point. It's making me like the 8 horse that much more, honestly. Now, the 7 horse is 9-5 EquinEdge morning line. Now, it just broke its maiden against a 42 group, but it beats 7 other horses by 4 3/4 lengths. Now it's had a layoff, and it's a pretty aggressive spot to bring this horse back for 25,000 against winners. But it's 9-2 right now, so this horse is kind of dead on the board.
Yes, and this is a Ness horse, so you would expect that it would be getting bet too.
Right. Look at the jockey trainer combination in 4 races on the 5 horse, My Cajun Lady. They've won 3 of 4.
Yeah, you definitely have to take that into account. You know, and you know, the 6 too. They're in 27 races. They're 20%. But you know that this horse just looks like it needs a little bit easier. Like it didn't beat 16K, and now it's moved up to a 25K price, even if they're relatively similar.
Right.
That reeks of we didn't have a place. That there was no 16K group to place this in, so we wanted to get this horse a race, so we put it here. The only suspicious thing about that, though, would be why is Sheldon Russell running if this horse is just here if they don't think this horse has a chance and they're just placing it there. I don't know. This is a tough group. I'm going to go with the. What do I want to go with? I will go with your 8 here.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that direction as well.
Any thoughts, Lexi?
I like the 8 as well.
All right, 8's all around. I will say that the jockey trainer combination is 0 for 12.
They are over 12. And the jockey trainer combination on the 2 horse is 0 for 9.
Yep. I mean, I guess at 13 to 1, it would not be the worst idea to take a place in a show bet maybe on the 6.
For sure. Everything is pointing here towards this 7 horse. It really is.
I'm just looking at
There's
this
so much.
again.
There's so much speed in the race.
So let's look at GSR plus on the 5. So this horse looks like it's more of a sprinter on turf. As I look at it, which could mean that it's going to be forwardly placed. I just keep looking at this like, why, they're 75%. And this horse is sitting at 15 to 1. But to me, it's a sprinter. It is lightly raced. It's only 1 for 6, where most of these horses have gone.
They just took
they're
off.
off. Yeah. I'll get that up. Sorry about that.
Golden is racing along in 5th of the opening furlong. My Cajun Lady, Cecilita on the inside, and Proper Storm trails them all as they head into the turn, hooking up front.
I mean, the 8 broke
down to the
great,
inside,
much better
5
than
on
we
the outside, 5
would have
coming
thought.
going to go on with it now. 2 lengths back, Carmel Sunrise is in 3rd spot. Another length and a half for 2, Daily Planet on the inside. Room at the rail for
7 couldn't be
Cecilita
running
to
any
roam
nicer.
through that one. Perfectly
And for
golden,
48s for the front
Lady,
end to be
second last
going
position, and Proper Storm
sub
carrying the
24
field.
here.
Sensible
Right.
pace racing down the back stretch for the front runner 5,2. Leads it from Carmel Sunrise. Lead is a length. And inside is Lady Mosler in 3rd position on hold. And they're followed on the outside by Perfectly Golden in 4th. Daily Planet is next in 5th position. The inside is Cecilita and then My Cajun Lady. And Proper Storm trailing the field. 5,2. Stole the 1 to catch. Carmel Sunrise moving a bit closer on the outside, heading into the 5-turn run. Lady Mosler parked out of the inside in 3rd, and Perfectly Golden is in 4th. Daily Planet 5th.
I mean, I really thought we needed to try to beat the 4 and the 3 and the money on these
has 5 to make up now.
But the 4 seems to have some horse. The 3 still running.
They turn for home.
7's loaded.
2, Carmel
Hopefully the 3 will
Sunrise.
stop.
Eight's gotta get out.
Down near the inside, trying to get on through. Center of the track is Perfectly Golden.
Got a
and Daily
gap.
Planet, 5 chances now with a furlong left to go. Between horses, Carmel Sunrise has the surge. So too Daily Planet. Daily Planet and on the outside, Perfectly Golden, Daily Planet. In between horses there, still battling on is
8,
Carmel
7.
Sunrise. Daily Planet,
Wow.
Daily Planet, Perfectly Golden, Carmel Sunrise.
Wow.
And
I
Proper
think he got
Storm
it.
finished 4th.
But let me tell you the bad news. The 8 got bet down to 2 to 1
Did it really?
late. Yeah.
Pathetic.
Minute 44.03.
Went off as co-favorite with the 7. Obviously, the computer-assisted wagers were
really
listening
good
to the
head
show.
bob. 3 ran huge. That was a really good head bob in that race. It's very close. I don't know where the wire is. He called the 8, but that head bob is interesting.
Let's see. I think it's after the start-finish line or sign. No, it's before. The mare's before. So it was the 8. He's right.
It was close though.
So before we run out of time here,
Charlie Marquez, the winning rider.
Let me switch
See,
this
the
over.
reason why we didn't like the
Two
four
wins,
horse is
Charlie
because of the pace
Marquez.
scenario.
2 wins. The trainer,
Yep.
Milan
And
Milosevic.
they're showing the 8. So let's talk really quickly about a late pick 5 here at Saratoga. I did
Oh, for
do some
sure.
handicapping. That's we got 2 minutes to post. That's what my ticket was. Same horses I was using in this last 2 legs, and then I had an all here, and then I was single to the only speed, the 1, was your E second choice and top win percentage in race 10. I just think that this horse has enough of a pace advantage and, has been close enough at this level. It's also Wesley Ward with Tyler Gaffleone. I think that this horse is potentially going gate to wire.
In this race here?
Race 10 at Saratoga.
Oh, race 10.
That's my single for the late
Oh, the
pick.
1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going fast here because we're almost at post time. But it's 3-5-8 in the last. And you could probably get away with just the 3 and the 8 in the last, in my opinion.
What about the EquinEdge long shot? It looks like a horse that could sneak up in here.
In the last race or in this race?
Yeah.
First.
In the last race, in race number 11.
Yeah. I mean, I used it. I was just saying you might be able to get away with 3-8, but I did go 3-5-8 here. And yeah,
And
I agree.
What did you think in race number 9?
Race number 9, I was all.
You were all.
I mean, this 2 there, I think looks pretty tough. The 1's beaten better than this group or right around it. Maybe you could get rid of this. If you wanted to pare this down, you could probably get rid of the 6.
That's what I was thinking as well, because I mean, it beat a really weak group. I don't know that I love the 5 horse that much either, but he's EquinEdge's second pick. The 1 is 1 for 1 at the surface and distance against a 78 group. It's 6-5 on the EquinEdge morning line.
Yep.
It faced it. Something happened in the last race, but that was a grade 1 race. This is a non-graded stakes race, right? Something happened in that last race to the horse, and it had a layoff. Like, if it's still the same horse, the 1 should romp in this race. There's nothing great in here.
You're talking about race
Race number 9
again?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, the 2 is pretty good.
Dr. Ardito. Let's see here. Yeah, last couple of races though, once it got in that grade 3 race and a non-graded stakes race there for 200 grand. It ran okay. It's a decent horse, but it's not the level of the 1. The 1's just at a different level than all these. It just is.
If it comes off its layoff good.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
I mean, that's the only thing. It's on a 342-day layoff.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
But
Sounds like a
Fletcher can get them ready though.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking here?
In this race?
Yeah.
I thought I was the top 4 win percentages.
I had 4, 6, 8, 10.
4, 6, 8, 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've got 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. There was something we talked about this 8-horse Catalina Crush. This 8 might run.
That'd be okay with me.
Right?
The 9 doesn't want to go in the gate.
Neither would you. Bought me enough time to get my ticket in.
Yeah, me too.
So thank you to the 9. I ended up going with your single, Scotty, and going 169 in the
Yeah, I
in race
singled
4.
the 1 as well.
You
10
sold
broke
me on
really
that.
good. 8 broke good, and then backed off.
3, 6,
10
8, 10 for me.
10 clearly has talent. You can see the way it's running.
4's got the lead.
Yeah, 6 is running nicely. I'll tell you what, I'm not hating on the way the 8's running right now.
3 either.
It definitely looks like it's those 5 horses. The rest of the field's going the other direction.
I'm liking the 8 right now, Scotty.
Yeah.
The 8 would be good for all of us.
Beating the 10 would be good for all of us.
Yes, that's for sure. At 10.
Get up, 8.
Come on.
Come on, 8.
Get up, 8.
Come on.
6
Come on,
just
little
took-
guy. Nope.
Oh. I'll tell you what, the jockey on the 8 should be shot because he had second place wrapped up, and he got disheartened when the 8 couldn't get there. Santana did. If you watch that replay, that was super bad. He could have easily beat that 3 for second. Easily. Really bad on him to do that.
I hate it when they do that.
Oh, yeah. That was super bad.
Yep.
But beating the 10 was good.
Watch the jockey on the 3. I don't know if we can see it here with this, but watch. He's holding. He's not even asking him. He grabs him right there, in fact, at the wire. Really bad.
At least we haven't had any issues today or anything that embarrassing the sport today at Saratoga.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was pretty sad. Last week was pretty sad.
It was. It was.
So it looks
my
like
pick 5. My pick 5 at Saratoga is live to the 12568.
1,
as
2,
soon as
5,
this
6, 8.
becomes official, we can take a look at the will pays, and I believe your pick 4 is alive that you gave out too.
Yes.
And let's see, we want to look quickly where we have some time to look at Indiana Grand's about to go off. There doesn't look like there's much there. Looks like there were some late scratches, and you have an 8% horse that's the highest win percentage and the favorite. But you also have a quarter horse race with a 71% horse, which I don't think I've seen in a quarter horse race. The 3 horse here that I'm showing here, a 99 pace, 71%, 5 for 5.
Oh, wow.
Including a grade 1 a couple weeks ago, and now is in a trial. And let's see here, there's only a couple of horses that have even won a race in here. But it is a quarter horse race. It could get taken out at the start.
Anything's possible.
Yes. We also have Colonial coming up, and we have 8 minutes to the last at Woodbine that we can watch as well, Scotty.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm just looking. I was looking at my pick 5 ticket while you guys were talking, and I am alive to an all in the last race on a $4 pick 5.
So you're the one taking all the value out of Lexi's ticket.
Oh, sorry, Lex.
That's all right.
We can share.
I didn't play I mean, my ticket wasn't very big, so.
I would have loved the 8. So we'll
If
see.
I
But
singled that 2, I would have been right there with you, but I went with the 4 instead in the next race.
I only had the 6 and 8 in the last race, so we're spot on there. And luckily, the 6 won and beat the 10.
Yeah.
But the that 8 would have been enormous.
And that's the other thing I keep telling people too, is you have to evaluate these favorites. And just because a horse is the favorite doesn't mean you need to use it.
Well, not only that too, Oldie. What I see sometimes is like, look at as long as people do that because they're afraid of losing. Like
Right.
you can't if you want to get big scores, you cannot be afraid of losing. And believe me, I'll go sometimes and lose a ton of races in a row, and then I just get one. Like yesterday, I did a coaching class yesterday where every bet I made, I lost. Now it's embarrassing. Like, well, he's the professional, and I lost. And literally, immediately after the class, I won like the next 4 races and got plenty of money back and more. So you can't be afraid. And I was leaving out favorites left and right, and I left that 10 horse out there because at some point you just have to if you're going to get paid big. These payouts are kind of small, to be honest with you.
Well, it was a lot of favorites. I mean, it started off with a 2 to 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The pick 5, the 2 horse is barely paying more than the pick 4.
Right. 148 on the 2. And the
But,
pick 4 pays 88.
But the Appleby horse isn't paying bad. The 6.
Yeah. Let's see here. So let's go to Woodbine.
Yeah. Last race at Woodbine. We're on the turf. We got steak and cheese as our second pick. Just need a little wine with your steak and cheese, and you're in good shape.
I need with my cheese. I got to have wine and crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I have to have wine, and I got to have some crackers. Do you have red wine or white wine with cheese and crackers?
White.
I agree.
I'm a white wine person personally. I don't really like warm red wine or room temperature.
Yeah. So do you guys concern yourself with this 10 post here at Woodbine?
I'm really not concerned with it. You're drawing Chimera, so you should be able to negotiate a trip. For me, the question might be, what if this 1 doesn't break? Can the 4 go gate to wire?
Let's see here.
Because I mean, this horse, granted, was on synthetic. You got a 3-point bump in GSR, about the same SOR, and this horse just missed going the same distance on synthetic, and is 8%.
I mean, I think it can. In 4 tries though on the turf, it's only earned $4,700, and it's earned $100,000 in 16 tries on the turf or on the synthetic. So that being said, 3 back going 6.5 furlongs. It only lost by a length and 3/4 against arguably tougher than what's lined up in here. So yeah. The EquinEdge long shot is a horse you can't ignore.
Getting bat.
Yeah.
So it's currently at 7-2. Also is a money bag horse. And we saw one of those win earlier today when those 2 things lined up. Is 2 of 9 at the distance. You know, the average SOR it's faced at this distance is 60.
This one
So
horse is just burned too much money for my liking. I mean, clearly look at it. I mean, like he tries, and you got to love horses like this, hard knockers like this. But he's burned a lot of money.
I mean, just from what I'm seeing, they're probably keeping him too close to the pace because the wins have come from further back.
Theranos has already won one on the card today, and he claimed this horse for 25,000 two back, and now the horse is in for $15,000. What I hate about this move is that the win percentage has dropped to 14%. I hate that. Like, that's on Steak and Cheese. I'm talking about the 10.
Yeah.
So you want to see this horse. You know, I would have really liked to see the win percentage go up, but it didn't. This race is absolutely a grab bag. I mean, anything that happens here. What about the 2 horse, 17% to win, Sailor's Passion? I mean,
Don't you have to take a shot on that horse just because it's 17% and it's at 18-1?
And because the favorites don't look that great,
right?
You
And
know?
sometimes the system just knows.
Exactly, and it sees stuff that we just don't see. I'll tell you an interesting horse as well. The 6 horse. This
That's
horse,
exactly where I clicked.
yeah, like this horse faced better horses last time out than what's in here, and only lost by a length and 3/4. So, and I think this is a logical spot for this horse. So, connections don't win a lot. Jockey trainer combination is 25% though. The trainer is 10%, Morden, and Marino's 8% as a jockey, but together they're 25%. I mean, this is such a wide open race. Like whatever you do, you don't take favorites in a race like this. You try to hit stuff. Like I'll throw out stuff like the 1 and 10, and I'll sort the win percentages and go from there. So, you know, if you do that, you take an exacta box and you do a 2, 6, 7 exacta box, call it a day and hope that you hit it.
What about the 8? I mean, the 8 doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't.
It won last out.
I know, but that was on synthetic. I'm not sure that this horse loves turf.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
But at least it likes to win.
It does. It does. 4 tries. So it's winning, and it pretty much about 18% win.
And the jockey trainer combination is 25%. Granted, it's only 4 races, but
You know, the other thing, if you throw out the 1 and 10, sort the EquinEdge morning line, and it gives you the 4, 6, 7. You could do it like that.
Yeah.
Right. There's numerous things you can do, or you can sort the GSR, and you would do 6, 5, 6, 2. Right. Again, if you throw out the 1 and the 10, I keep coming back to the 6 horse. I'm kind of liking the 6.
I'll take a shot on the 4 here. Though I feel like I should be saying the 2. You know, I'll take that back. I'll go with the 2, being that it's 17%. I'll take the system just knows things angle.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of the 5. I don't.
The Sunrise
like the 5.
Drive goes to gate number 8. Further across, Desolator. And William Therinos looks for the double today as he sends out Steak and Cheese to the outside gate. Goes up for Kazushi Kimura, and the field is all in, locked up. Sunrise Drive getting back down. They're off, and they began as 1. A very nice break, and coming through is Dixie Giant narrowly for the lead on the outside. Steak and Cheese hunting across, and Racing Handy Solo is taken up on the inside. Coming through is in the center Native Prince as they settle. Rocket Copper in 4th, and now length behind them came Sunrise Drive joining Solar. Off the track, Desolator, second last, Sailor's Passion. 2 away last is Lion Kingdom. Racing in front, Dixie Giant, controlling the pace by a length to Steak and Cheese prominent. Native Prince with a nice trail on the inside, and on the outer, Rocket Copper. A length behind them, Solar, followed by Sunrise Drive. Quarter bit wider, Desolator. On the inside, second last, Sailor's Passion, and a break of 2.5 to Lion Kingdom is last. Dixie Giant shows the way through first quarter of 24 and 1. Leads by a length. Coming up is Rocket Copper, 3 wide to put some pace in the race. In the center, Steak and Cheese, and about a length behind them, Native Prince, Desolator off the track. Between runners, both Solar and Sunrise Drive.
They moved it up a half hour
and
because the
on the inside, Sailor's Passion as they bunch. Last is Lion Kingdom.
by
On
the
the
end of the
outside,
race.
Rocket Joe Copper with an
Makes
ahead of the
sense.
lead.
End of
It's
the
Dixie
card.
Giant and Rocket Joe Copper, the joint
7
leaders.
horse we were
Right
talking
behind
about.
them, Steak
The
and Cheese is
EquinEdge
had a
long
great
shot
run,
has gone up
as
2 to
has
1
Native
as the
Prince on the
favorite.
inside. Then Desolator
Yep.
trying to run home is Solar. Behind them,
One
Sunrise
horse
Drive
is
got
all
back
out.
again. Second last Sailor's
10
Passion,
seems
and
to have
taking
horse,
off is
though.
Lion Kingdom at the tail end. But it's Rocket Joe Copper and
Nobody
Dixie
else
Giant
really
about to be
coming.
joined by
Six making a little
Steak and
bit of a
Cheese.
move.
They've gone away from Native Prince as they corner. Rocket Joe Copper narrowly. Coming up is Steak and Cheese on the outside.
You know,
On the rail,
the
Dixie
6 had to
Giant
go
from the
very
back.
wide,
On the rail,
and
Sailor's
it's
Passion. And
finishing,
now
but
Lion Kingdom finishing
that's
well.
most likely
It's
going to cost the
Steak and
horse. We'll
Cheese
see.
going to
Ah,
the
it's
front
moving
with
nicely,
Rocket Joe
though.
Copper.
Ten's gonna win
Lion
this
Kingdom
race.
trying to catch them both,
Probably
but
10,
Steak
6,
and
7.
Cheese in front. Lion Kingdom is finishing
Yeah, it
well.
looks like 10,
Steak
6,
and
7.
Cheese trying to hang on here, and Steak and Cheese at the wire narrowly from Lion Kingdom. Rocket Joe Copper third. Sunrise Drive
happy
fourth, and
people in the
Sailor's
crowd
Passion
there.
has run fifth.
Yeah,
143.
so 10
53.
horse gets the win, Steak and Cheese. Let's check out Ellis Park, you guys. Ellis Park's coming up here in about 3 minutes from now. And
Interesting turf race.
I love these sprint races here. You have a big pace number in the EquinEdge long shot to 1. Mont McCrew, who's going on turf for the first time. The GSR goes up a little bit. This horse, you know, it's fast though. Whereas you've got a price play in the 9 horse, who's second off the layoff. And we talked about that. We've already seen a win there. And this horse going 5.5 on the turf, 4 back, ran a really nice race against tougher group than this. So, and it ran pretty good last time out against much better horses. I'm surprised the win percentage doesn't go up on this 9, but I don't think there's any world beaters in here. The 10 horse, the favorites burn money already. So I don't think that horse has to win. It seems to need the lead, and it probably won't get it. I think the 1 and 10 are going to be on the lead flying. You know who's going to get in the garden trip in here is going to be the 5 horse, Pure Sacro.
Yep, agreed. Top win percentage, second EE pick. Just missed the last 2 times, so maybe a money burner, but did run well last summer here, third off the layoff, moving back to turf, you know, against a group that is only a 44 on the board and had been running against 50s and 52s.
Right.
You
Now
know,
the 9 horse Mount Kisco faced Birthday Munnings, the 10, who's your 6-5 favorite right now. But and the 9 ran good, but had to have needed that race. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? You could say that same thing about the 10, but you know, some trainers, you know, aren't prepared first time out. Brendan Walsh is on the 10. So the 9 horse though, you got a 0% trainer.
what about the 6 horse, Scotty?
Bayou Spirit. Let's see. So first time on the turf, GSR goes up a little bit. If you look at the first 2 races, first thing I look for is, did the horse draw inside? So it dueled in its last race. So it improved. In its first race, it didn't run great. Second race, it improved. And you can see in the stretch, it was only a length and a half back and then gave up late. Now it gets a better post and the numbers improve. And at 15 to 1, the 6 deserves a big, big look in a race, especially where the 1 and 10 could stop.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
It's got a strong SOR too.
Yep.
And
Good
it
at the
does.
5.
Good point.
And from
Point.
the GSR Plus tab, it looks like a turf sprinter.
Yeah. No, I think the 10 and let's see, Brian Lynch and Gabriel Saez are what? They
Over
are
2.
over 2. Okay. I don't know. Look, 4 races of the 5 races for Birthday Munnings, the 10 horse. Look at that. 5 to 2, got 5th. 4 to 1, nice second place finish. That wasn't bad. Then 80 cents on the dollar and 36%, loses by 10 3/4 lengths. And then last time out, although I'm willing to forgive that horse ran good. Plus, it dueled. So,
Just checking to make sure we're not off yet.
Oh, they did go off.
I do that all the time in the classes, Scotty,
No, me
as
too.
I talk my way all the way through the race.
So let's see here. The 5 horse on the outside is running beautifully. 10 coast. 4 horse
4's
99 to 1.
1. Yeah, and I think it's going to win this race.
Wow.
Oh, it is. Holy
How's
cats.
that?
That is something you do not see very often.
Boom. Bombs
let's
away,
look-
big balloon.
Let's take a look at the score.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. What the heck just happened there?
Second time starter.
You can't see that. 0% trainer.
GSR
Way to
goes
go,
up
though,
a
Dustin.
little bit.
Good for him.
He's a 0%
Baron
trainer,
Peterson.
no more.
That's just incredible. Incredible.
I don't know how you get to this horse. I'm going to blow it up so people can see it a little better, but
I'm grateful we didn't play it. The race.
yeah. I mean, there are some bullet works here, but really hadn't worked since the last race other than this maintenance work. And maybe the fact that it just had a maintenance work after a race on the 13th told you this horse is sitting on something.
Right.
It says the dam has 4 winners from 7 starters and 2 turf winners.
Is it it was also first time gelding. If you're a first time gelding player, which I'm typically not, but that might have gotten the people who are that might have gotten them there.
For sure. You know, geldings only come back to win. A horse that's gelded first time out come back to win 11% of the time. It's a very low
I was going to say, for some reason, I heard 6%.
Yeah, 11%.
So actually lower than what?
It's very low. Very
Yeah.
low.
Foxtrot Anna.
All right, so I want to look at something because was this the last race here? Amazingly, that did not go to a pick 5 carryover.
Oh.
Guys,
that's what I want to look at.
Let's head out to Saratoga. Interesting. If you go to the changes tab, Oldie, you'll see Mysterious Knight, the foreign horse. So
Blinkers
the Irish
on.
spread, blinkers added.
Yep.
Yep. And this horse is a grade 1 winner over at Woodbine. There's really not a lot in here at all. Like, first of all, well, General Jim, the 8 horse, is a fair horse. I mean, fair. He's decent. Okay. He won a grade 2, a grade 3, got smoked in the grade 1. But now the horse has earned 134,000 in 3 tries on the turf. Now, I understand they were probably very disappointed with that effort last time out. So, like, okay, let's throw this horse back on the turf. It's been a layoff. But here's the thing. Okay, this horse is a very talented horse and it can run on dirt or turf. But the fact that it's on turf, I don't like that. In a grade 2, I don't like it at all. I just don't. Like this is a move where I think you have no idea what the horse is going to do. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this 8. I think we're going to beat this 8.
You know, I like the 8 a bit. This race I think was actually scheduled for last week and was one of the races that was canceled or moved here. I kind of like the 8. You know, and I just don't know about either of these Chad Brown horses, the 2 and the 5.
So the two horse broke its maiden by 8 3/4 lengths, and then it went on the American turf grade 2 over at Churchill Downs in May, and it didn't break good, and it kind of rushed up. It ran okay, but really all it's ever done was beat at 20 cents on the dollar at 61% to win a 48 SOR group.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a horse that you just have no idea about, and you're probably betting connections. There's no guarantee there. The 5 horse Appraise needed that last race. 7 Furlongs won that race, but it was a 62 SOR group. Now, against 2-year-olds, it ran decent for Chad Brown and got second in the summer grade handicap behind the 6 Mysterious Knight. So it's the EquinEdge top pick. So for me, the fact that that's the EquinEdge top pick makes me realize how tough this race actually is. And so I'm looking at every single horse.
And to me,
What?
this 5, didn't run all that well in its move up. Both
Why?
the Skidmore and the grade 1 Summer. Did it run awful? No, but was it really a threat to win? No, in both those cases. And I think if you look at the 2, just from looking at the monster works and the fact that for the most part the horse really needs to be forwardly placed, I just wonder whether this 2 needs the lead.
Yeah. Well, in looking at this, I've narrowed it down. Not narrowed it down. I know who I like. I like the EquinEdge long shot behind enemy lines 3. 18% win. I like the race, the American Turf 2 back. This horse broke 12th and only lost by 4.5 lengths. Then comes back and runs in the Penn Mile and loses by 3/4 of a length. Ran a very good race and has been on the shelf since. Rosario jumps aboard, but that's the horse I like. Pratt gets off to ride the 5, which is super interesting. But I think that it, maybe they took Pratt off possibly, but maybe at 8-1 we're going to be kicking ourselves if the EquinEdge long shot or EquinEdge top pick wins at 8-1. It's 7-2 EquinEdge morning line. It's the top EquinEdge pick. I don't know.
So I'll make this my disagreement horse with you because I do not like this horse at all. It's working nicely. I don't typically like Jack Sisterton on the turf. I don't think that Penn Mile was all that good of a race. I actually happened to watch that race. And I don't typically like horses that get to the lead in the stretch and then get caught.
Yeah.
What about the 7? I mean, the 7 is jumping way up in SOR, but it's another Chad Brown horse.
I have a note on this horse of benefited from a pace duel.
Okay.
Actually might be a useful note for once. Some of my notes are not that useful. But let's see if we would benefit from a pace duel here. And I think the answer, it's definitely not a complete no. Yeah, that there is some pace here.
By the way, Oldie, you're 100% right about that race that the EquinEdge long shot comes out of. I'm looking at it right now. It was not good. It was really not good. So, I would agree with you on that.
What about this 1 more than looks?
More than looks. Let me look at that Manila race and see how strong that was. It was okay. There's a bunch of horses in there that, they're more grade 3 type horses. It looks like to me, right? Not grade 2 or grade 1. Now, but I think we're starting to see that maybe, especially if you see like only a 74 SOR in a grade 2. I think we're seeing that this is not the strongest grade 2 race in the world.
Yeah.
Right. So. I'm looking right now at General Jim, the 8 horse, and he beat a horse named Fort Bragg, who came back to win a grade 3 right after that. And then also a horse named Gilmore, who did not come back to run good. Actually ran a 3rd place finish against 10 horses, 9 other horses in a grade 1 race at Belmont. So not bad. There's nothing that really stands out here at all. 2 minutes before the race here at Saratoga.
And if I were watching that Penn Mile, I think I remember there was not a huge pace for this horse to run into either. And that might be the case here, where this is one of those later running horses that doesn't need pace to run into, that has enough what people would call late pace, but kick, if you will.
So for sure, the horse that comes out of the best race, I'll tell you right now, and is this horse Carl Spackler 2. And it actually, so that American Turf race was good. I know the Penn wasn't, but that that Carl Spackler, that particular race there, that Grade 2 race, the American Turf, that actually was a really good race. The winner, Web Slinger. I mean, this horse has earned 430. Like this horse, yeah. I mean, barely lost in the Saratoga Dave Invitational. Won the Belmont Derby. No, got fourth in that, breaking slow. And Far Bridge, that horse came back to really run good, winning the Belmont Derby. So that was a strong race. I mean, you're going to probably see 6 or 7 horses at the top of the stretch that are in contention. You know, maybe this Carl Spackler, the EquinEdge second pick, we're going to start looking right at this race, and then we're going to realize it's going to come down to the top EquinEdge picks like it always does. Watch. Right?
Yep.
So what happens?
Isn't Carl Spackler, isn't that the name of Bill Murray's character from Caddyshack?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. Sure. Anybody in the chat, do you guys know?
I mean, look at this horse for Chad Brown too is 2-1 right now. Is your favorite? It broke 10th, bumped and tired, so you know but it's had a layoff now. Really tough one.
It's also the lowest Will pays on the pick 5 and pick 4.
It is. That's right. Yeah.
And the watch, you know, just because we haven't had a bomb, the 4 is going to end up winning here.
Well, I hope so, because I have the pick 5 8 times.
4 and horse. Sprinter has never been a mile. Dropping in GSR. Gets Trevor and has been facing basically mostly 54s and 60s. Once it gets to the 70 level, but maybe this horse wants firm turf.
Are we forgetting about the 9-horse bat flip? I mean, it's lightly raced and it's doing everything that's being asked of him. And good magic horse, Todd Pletcher, Castellano. And maybe that horse has a look in an absolute grab bag.
I mean, I think the issue for me is, why has this horse been off since November? And, is it a issue with that it didn't mature that quickly from 2 to 3, or was there an injury?
I'm still thinking, the more I'm looking at this, I'm still liking the 3 behind enemy lines. And then I'm going to throw the 6 in there. So I will tell you, I'm going to bet right now, and my wager is going to be a 1-3-6 exacta box.
Yeah. So Bill says, Scotty, get off that Caddyshack horse. So Carl Spackler must be the Bill Murray's name in Caddyshack.
Yeah, it is.
14,000. That's crazy.
So they're loading fast into the gate.
Yeah, I don't like the way the 9 looks too. I think it's sweating a little worked up. Now it looks like it could get caught pretty wide.
The 5 takes the lead. Here goes the 8 that's just going to be sitting. The 3's really, wow, the 6 horse,
rushing up,
just took off and really made the 8 and the 9 bump and go wide. So the 5 horse of praise, the EquinEdge top pick, is on the lead. And General Jim, the 8's a bit rank, considering that turn comes fast.
Yep. But did finally relax. Right now, if
three's
I'm
been
Carl
saving ground.
Spackler, if I'm any good, I'm getting
Three's been
well.
saving nice ground. The 6 takes the lead right now over the 5 of praise. The Serious Knight seems to have a lot of horse right now. Here comes the 3 on the inside. I would love to see a 6-3.
The 8's loaded.
It is 3. Here comes the 2. He's coming as well. Horse got horse if he can get through.
Come on, 5. Stay up.
That would be bummer.
Not going to happen.
No.
Bummer.
Good old Carl.
251.
Close.
He has his own breed of, if I remember correctly, Bill, he has his own breed of grass that you can both use as a fairway and you can smoke.
Well, I guess the good news is I came on the show and my ticket hit.
Yeah.
I didn't pay a lot, but it hit.
That's
Boom,
right.
though.
Well, I got back what I put into the pick 5.
Everybody's dream, right? Especially at Saratoga.
Yeah.
At least we didn't lose money.
I didn't
that's
lose
good.
money. Yep. Well, the 2 did. You know, there was a tough race, top of the stretch. There was every horse was there at the top of the stretch, which often happens in those turf races, anyways. But the 2 horse, nice training job by Chad Brown off the layoff since May, and that horse ran a really nice race and ended up winning. Yeah, you know, in the American Turf over at Churchill Downs in May, that horse was actually the 2-1 favorite in that race. So clearly had an issue, and whatever it was, Chad Brown figured out, and Tyler Gaffleone gave that horse a perfect ride.
Yep. Great ride. Was bumped here at the start, too.
Yeah.
You know, and probably further back than that horse wanted, but he must have, you know, got that horse to relax more than Jose Ortiz did in the American Turf.
Well,
Lexi,
I better
thank
take
you.
off, you guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, Lexi. Good
course.
to have you. Thanks for coming on, okay?
Yep. Good to see you guys.
You
It was a
too.
pleasure having you on, Lexi. I hope you have a great weekend.
You guys have a great weekend too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And Scotty, thank you for
Great.
joining me for another show here.
You're welcome.
Sorry
No
that
problem.
you only broke even, but still better than losing money. I guess.
No, it was fun. I had a good time. I appreciate you having me on. So I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody as well because it's Anna's birthday today. So I'm gonna hang out with her. So
Happy birthday to Anna.
I
Thank
will
her
tell
very
her.
much for lending you to me for a little while today. And I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you
All
very
right, guys. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
And I am also going to say goodbye, everybody, and say thank you very much for all of you who have been with us for either part or all of the show. Tons of fun. We were alive to some tickets, and there was some great racing. I appreciate it. Again, I'm going to pitch the WhatsApp chat. The links is linked to my Twitter profile, as well as you know, I haven't seen that much interest from people on the idea we had of doing a stretch run fantasy football league. But if you guys are interested, please reach out to me. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will be around. And yes, please hit the like on the way out. Thank you very much.